What would you do with 2 house payments? Tony Schiavone here to tell you about SaveWithConrad.com. When you refinance with Save with Conrad, you can do so with confidence, knowing not only will you get a great rate, but you will get to skip 2 house payments. You don't need perfect credit, and there's no money out of your pocket. Find out how we can help you skip 2 today at SaveWithConrad.com.
Hey guys, it's the hardcore legend Mick Foley here, and I need to call a quick timeout, a brief timeout, because I wanted to tell your listeners what I have been telling Foley is Pod listeners for a while now about all the cool things happening over on adfreeshows.com.
We kick off 2023 by going back to 1983 and the debut of the NWA U.S. Heavyweight Championship, commonly referred to as the 10 Pounds of Silver, on an all-new edition of Title Chase.
Overtime has just kind of worn out, and then Magnum TA told me himself that he finally just polished some of the rest of it out because it just had some little bit in the corners or whatever that had hung on, and so he just finished the job.
Our book series continues, and this time we turn to Jim Crockett Promotions. Conrad and David Crockett dive into Jim Crockett Jr.'s handwritten booking logs from January 1985.
So tell us exactly what we're looking at here, the red books.
All right, the red books, I have to tell you, are basically, and I'll hold one up. This is a calendar for a book for 1985.
Yep.
All right, in it, I'm just going to pull a page. Handwritten, the matches, and also the gross of the city, towns that we're in, the matchups. And this is the Bible. It was started with my father.
On January 24th, Ad Free Shows is bringing you another premium watch-along event as we celebrate the 35-year anniversary of the very first Royal Rumble. And we're watching it live with the winner of that historic match, Hacksaw Jim Duggan.
Oh, hey folks, I'm WWE Hall of Famer Hacksaw Jim Duggan from the Golden Age of Wrestling. And I'm celebrating the 35th anniversary of my win in the first ever Royal Rumble by watching this Royal Rumble on adfreeshows.com. Join me January 24th at 9 p.m. adfreeshows.com. Tough guy, first ever winner. Ho!
That's just a small taste, a sampling, if you will, of what we have waiting for you. With 4 levels to choose from. 4. See for yourself why Ad-Free Shows is the best value in wrestling today. Sign up now, right now, at adfreeshows.com. Yeah.
WHW Monday. And now, let's go to the ring. And here's your co-host. Hey, it's Conrad Thompson.
Hey, it's Conrad Thompson, and you're listening to What Happened When? With the voice of your childhood, Tony Schiavone. Tony, what's going on, man? How are you?
How you doing, Conrad? Wow, we're getting into football playoff time.
Here we are.
Pretty exciting, and a lot of great things going on. I guess by the time you and I, by the time this airs nationally, we will know who the college football champions will be.
Here's a spoiler. It's Georgia.
I don't know about that. I know they're the better team, but not always does the better team win, as you know. So we'll see.
You've been awake for more or less than an hour?
I've been awake for more than an hour.
Really?
Yeah. Doesn't sound like it.
How long does it take for your mouth to catch up with your brain?
Sometimes it takes all day.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
Well, we're hoping that it catches up by the end of this very special episode because we're watching WCW Thunder. Now,
you say it hasn't yet?
What, your mouth caught up with your brain?
Yeah, it hasn't caught it.
Yeah, you started a few sentences there.
Okay.
Start them, stop them, correct it, put your thing down, flip it in reverse, sit.
Right.
Hey, listen, once upon a time, we watched sort of the pilot episode of Thunder. You remember that way back when?
No.
We did.
Okay.
Now we're going to watch the actual first Thunder.
What was the pilot episode of Thunder?
Right? I mean, it was one of those where it wasn't even on the network. We had to go watch it on the tube of you.
Oh.
But today we are watching because we're sort of celebrating 25 years ago, and it's hard to believe, but Thunder is now officially 25 years old.
Wow.
The first episode aired on January 8th, 1998, which is the 25th anniversary exactly to the day of when you and I are recording this on Sunday morning, January 28th. Hope everybody had a great new year, and now it's time for us to talk about Thunder. Now, just to sort of catch everybody up, there's a lot of stuff going on in WCW. We're just a few days past the biggest WCW show of all time, not Bash at the Beach 1994, which was huge when Hulk Hogan and Ric Flair finally squared off. But this set the high water mark. It was Sting challenging Hollywood Hogan for the NWO/WCW World Heavyweight Championship. And of course, we all know what happened with Nick Patrick and the supposed fast count. If maybe you'd like to hear from Nick about what really happened, we just talked about that over on adfreeshows.com. We had a chat with both Mr. Nick Patrick and Eric Bischoff and broke it down. But of course, in the middle of all that, oh, by the way, we've also got the hottest heel from the other show, just fresh off of the Montreal Screwjob. So we debut Bret Hart on December 15th, making the special guest referee, throw him in Starrcade, and the other match that happens of consequence, can't believe this is a real sentence, Eric Bischoff versus Larry Zbyszko with Nitro hanging in the balance. The idea being they wanted to do an NWO Nitro and a WCW Thunder. And that's what we're going to watch here is the very first Thunder. Of course, Larry Zbyszko won. So it's not necessarily NWO this, WCW that. And now we've just got to hire a bunch of new talent, set up a new set, and we're going live. And the Nitro before this was the very first 3-hour Nitro. And this episode, the very first Thunder, is a 3-hour Thunder, but then it's going to go to 2 hours after that. Tony, this is a company that enjoyed incredible success with a 2-hour Nitro and no Thunder. We've added a 3rd hour and now expanded Thunder, or added Thunder to the roster as well. So we went from 2 hours a week to 6 hours a week of live programming in a week.
Yeah.
And I feel like sometimes people gloss over that fact, Tony, and they say, because listen, Bischoff says it all the time. Thunder was a bad call. Thunder was maybe the beginning of the end. Thunder, exposed our weaknesses. We messed up a good thing. We had to expand the roster. We had to run ragged with the crew, blah, blah, blah. But it's sort of lost in the shuffle is, oh yeah, at the same time, we took Nitro to a 3-hour show. Nitro as a 3-hour show never felt the same to me as Nitro with a 2-hour show. Would you agree with that?
It's terrible. What we're doing now is we are watching the decline, the actual decline of WCW.
Yes.
And it started, again, with me, with the shitty finish at Starrcade.
Yes.
And then the shittier finish on Nitro when we went off the air before we had a finish, right, for the Stinger Splash. We covered that.
Last week.
Last week. And now we got Thunder. So you can connect the dots to see why we went to the shitter. And again, Eric says Thunder was a bad call. Thunder was TBS's call.
Not his, yeah. He didn't want it.
He didn't want it. Nobody wanted Thunder. And there, again, is the rub. And there, again, is the reason, and I know I'm right on this, why WCW would have never worked. Because you cannot have a television company that has no idea how to run a wrestling company call the shots. And that's why WCW went down, because it was owned by a television company.
Lots of discussion this last week, Tony. I know we normally don't talk about current stuff, but this is current stuff on the other channel, so maybe it's not out of bounds. But supposedly, allegedly, Vince McMahon is back, and he's pursuing a sale of the WWE, something that we predicted years ago would happen here on this program. Now it looks like it's really going to happen, and I bring this up because you just said a television company owning a wrestling company will never work. That's the reason WCW didn't work. It does feel like there's a better than average chance that a television company winds up owning WWE. How's that strike you?
I don't work for the WWE, so I don't know.
No, but I'm saying if it didn't work then, you don't think it would work now?
No,
either, right?
I don't think it ever works. No, you can't just be another cog in the wheel, so to speak, like we were.
Right.
You can't be WCW, the Atlanta Braves, the Thrashers, CNN. You can't be that. TBS, TNT, like we were. You got to be your own entity. You do. And I know in today's society that with big businesses,
I, for one, look forward to the idea of maybe Disney buying WWE, and next WrestleMania, it's Cody Rhodes versus Mickey Mouse for the strap.
Sure. And
I think Goofy's got something that Roman Reigns ain't ready for.
And have WWE have a ride at Disney World.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah. So
what would it be called?
WWE at Disney World.
Well, yeah, but I mean the ride. Would that be the NDA?
The what?
The NDA.
NDA?
The non-disclosure agreement.
Oh, funny.
Anyway, let's start the show. Tony, it's going to be a little while, guys. He said sometimes it doesn't happen till the end of the day. Let's give him till the end of the day. Season 1, episode 1. January 8th, 1998, WCW Thunder, the very first one. We got a shitty open. We got a shitty set of announcers. We got shitty debuts from shitty wrestlers. And we got the shittiest set of all. I want everybody, Tony, I want you to just type this in your Google machine. Nickelodeon Aggro Crag. AGGRO space.
Wait a minute. Okay, Nickelodeon what?
Aggro Crag. AGGRO.
I got it.
Space CRAG.
Got it.
Now, there was this program called Guts. And if you'll click Google image, you'll see this giant mountain of the Aggro Crag that was a part of Guts. And that looks a lot like the Thunder set to me. So with that in mind, let's start our playback here for season 1, episode 1, January 8th, 1998. Tony, I think we have kind of a throwback countdown today I'm looking forward to.
You thought right there, Aggro Crag Breath.
You know it's all about your money! Holy shit, I ain't baby! You know it's all about your money! Look, let me tell you something, you little skinny motherfucker. I will beat your ass, plus I will beat your ass in video games. I know that you're freaking lying. How's it gonna feel to go back to Connecticut and tell the fuckers that an old 63-year-old man beat your ass? No, you can't ignore. Whiskey's what you're waiting for. I know you know the score. 3, 2, 1, play! For over 25 years, professional wrestling and TBS have combined to bring you the absolute best in sports entertainment. And ladies and gentlemen, tonight we unveil a brand new era. Tonight we welcome you to Thunder as we are live tonight, as we will be each and every week. You are looking at jam-packed Ocean Center in Daytona Beach, Florida, as we welcome you to the very first Thunder on TBS. A sold-out capacity crowd ahead, and tonight we bring you 3 hours of the very best in professional wrestling. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Tony Schiavone, joined tonight by Lee Marshall, and as always, Bobby the Brain Heenan. Tonight on this program, Diamond Dallas Page and Kevin Nash will collide for the U.S. heavyweight title. But Lee Marshall tonight, as fans have been awaiting, we're going to show you detailed footage of what happened at the end of Starrcade between Sting and Hollywood Hogan, and show you the footage when we went off the air the very next night in Baltimore at TNT when Sting and Hogan were in the ring. We'll show them that tonight.
The entire thing clouded in controversy, Tony. And of course, you mix in the element of the lawyers. You cause that to become litigious. You become afraid of what you can say, what you can't say, what you could show on television. Finally, we're going to see what indeed did happen. There was no doubt in my mind. I was there. You were there. The brain was there. We know who the world heavyweight champion is. We know all about that.
We'll show you all the footage tonight. Plus, Brain will show in its entirety Eric Bischoff tonight and Larry Zbyszko from Starrcade.
Well, that was a great match between Eric Bischoff and Larry Zbyszko.
Liar. It was not a great match. So, Tony, we're off to a start here.
We lie a lot, Conrad.
Yeah. Daytona Beach, Florida. This is the building that saw Hulk Hogan turn heel.
Right.
Way back when at Bash Beach 1996. And they are hot as hell for a not so great show.
Mm-hmm.
But hey, Lee Marshall's on it. So, I mean, I'm looking forward to that part.
Listen, we had a chance that night. Lee had a chance that night to become the play-by-play guy of Thunder.
Really?
Yeah.
You think he was he was set out there to replace you?
I was hoping.
Yeah.
Here's exactly what happened. We all got together in the back, and it was the announcers and Bischoff. And Eric said to Lee, would you like to do the play-by-play or color? And I'm sitting there thinking, please say play-by-play. And he went, I think I'd rather do color. So I was hoping he would do it because he had such a great voice.
Yes, he does.
And I think, and I know he is not talked about well in the sheets as being an announcer. They always thought he was terrible. I thought he was tremendous. I thought his voice was tremendous. I thought his delivery, the excitement level of his voice was great. And I thought that given a chance to do it on a regular basis and be coached and be produced, that he could become a great play-by-play guy. Plus, Lee Marshall was one of the nicest men you'll ever be around in your life.
Right.
So it was all, but he didn't want to do it. He wanted to do color. So they stuck my ass in there again. And I really think that fans who this time were sick and tired of how we've been fucking them over, when we come on the air and hear my voice again, we're thinking, fuck, here we go.
So you think it was overexposure for you?
Oh, there was no question it was overexposure for me.
Yeah. So far, guys, I just want to remind you, we are 5 minutes into the program, and what we've done is we've seen video evidence of Hulk Hogan arriving to Nitro. Now we've seen a video clip from Nitro where Nick Lambros comes out and reads a statement.
Yeah.
This is our first Thunder, and it's all we've already established in the first 5 minutes. Oh, this is a recap show.
Sure.
This is a B show. This is like WCW Saturday Night, but on Thursday.
And I can say this. I think we have learned from the WCW mistakes in a way. Here's why. Because if you'll recall on Dynamite now, we really don't show a bunch of packages.
No.
We show a lot of B-roll as we're talking, as they're walking to the ring. Or our packages will be like 1 minute, and it's mostly really in action. So I think we've learned from that you just don't show 3 minutes of bullshit. Like right here, right? Here's JJ. So, I mean, just have the announcers tell the story and B-roll it and get to the ring.
This is our third clip so far.
Yeah.
It's really amazing that, I mean, I understand we're trying to satisfy, we're serving multiple masters here. We're not just trying to do what the audience wants. We got to do what corporate wants. And one of those trappings you sort of warned about at the top of the show, a TV company owning a wrestling company. But here we are, still at the desk, 6 minutes into the program, looking at Tony Schiavone.
Has it been established that, yes, in fact, Vince wants to sell the WWE?
Yes. He's enlisted the help of JP Morgan to help
Okay.
sale talks, and there's a big list of buyers, and there's even a scenario where they go private, and Vince just raises the money to take it off the stock market completely.
Oh, and take it off the stock market completely and keep it with him.
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
he's in control. He runs WWE again right now.
I know he does, but the idea is that he'll take it off the market, keep it private, and keep control of the company, right?
Yep.
That's probably what's going to happen.
I've talked to a lot of people who agree.
Yeah, I would think.
It's interesting though. I'll tell you this. It's
Vince
got
McMahon.
everybody in the business and around the business chatting.
Yeah, of course.
What does this mean?
I always thought, and this
Oh,
is
look
long,
at there. Macho Man nailed Eric Bischoff. This is
Wow.
from Nitro, but still,
Yeah,
this is where you see the big divide
yeah.
of the Macho Man and the NWO. And then here comes Hulk Hogan, like, hey man, what are you doing hitting Eric Bischoff like that?
My God,
Kevin Nash ain't about that bullshit. I'm gonna walk right behind you and give you a lariat to the back of the dome. Problems in the NWO.
the guy in the overalls loves it.
Where you at on a tank top in the winter? You cool with that? I think
No.
that's cool.
I don't like tank tops at all, unless you're muscular, which I've never been.
Well, that could change. You don't know.
There's David Crockett in the.
So now, ladies and gentlemen, after all the packages and recaps are done, here comes our very first match. The very first person to come through the aggro crag on Thunder. Take a look.
The Macho Man Randy Savage. We were supposed to go to the ring early. We gave you all that footage because he had not arrived.
What?
And is he here yet or not? We're not sure. We've not been told. We're going to bring out his opponent here, Chris Adams, in the opening bout. You know, Lee, that combined what we have just seen, NWO having their
The first person to appear live in front of this Daytona Beach crowd, where Hulk Hogan turned heel. This is the new live show for the #1 wrestling company in the world. It's Chris Adams.
They hit his music at exactly 8 minutes into the show.
Isn't that crazy, dude?
Yeah, it is. So the old adage to where what we try to do today is give you a great hot match at the beginning was really not. And did you hear that we tried to make the excuse that the reason we gave you all that footage because the Macho Man was not here yet?
Well, yeah. So that was the story. You know, the quote unquote story behind the story is the Macho Man is supposed to be here, but he's not here. But he does have a match tonight. He hasn't arrived yet to the building. Okay, here's his opponent. This is not his debut, Chris Adams, but it is his Thunder debut. And now, finally, here's Savage. I understand the big star comes out second.
Yeah.
It does feel like to me, the first person I want to push out here in front of this live crowd, I want it to be a big star. I want it to be Randy Savage.
Yeah, I mean, like, for instance, who's the first guy that came out on Dynamite last week? Chris Jericho.
Yes.
And the second one was Ricky Starks. Now, obviously, we're building Ricky Starks to be a big star, and he's doing a great job of that.
But you start with a bigger star.
That's right. He's not Chris Jericho.
And I understand in a traditional sense where, hey, we're going to have a match and blah, 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 and it's going to be the main event. Okay, I get that. The bigger star comes out last. I understand that. But to your point, that changes a little when you're on first. And I know, like, I think back to the very first Dynamite, like the very first one, the very first episode, the first match, Cody Rhodes and Sammy Guevara. Cody Rhodes was obviously well established and with AEW fans. And this was an opportunity to showcase Sammy. Yeah. And that made sense for a first match. Now, everything that's happening with Savage, he is one of the hotter characters in WCW because the NWO has been the hot act. And now is a question of, hey, man, is he WCW? Is he NWO? What's what?
Right.
I like it, but I don't know about having Chris Adams come out first.
No. And, of course, we are big-time armchair quarterbacking here, which is what we do, and we can do it.
Yeah.
But I don't know. We just had too much going on.
Yeah.
We had too much going on. Just, God almighty. Well, thank you for bringing up bad memories.
You're welcome. That's what I do. I love to do it. It's much fun for me.
I mean, we've done it like 3 weeks in a row, haven't we?
Well,
4 weeks in a row. 4 weeks out of 3. Okay. Oh,
I
look
don't
at
know what we're doing next week, but it's probably bad news. You know.
yeah. Guys have these little signs that they're writing down at the front. See that guy holding up that little piece of paper? He just wrote that sign down on a piece of paper. So he thinks he's clever by doing signs, but he's stupid because nobody can read them.
Not only that, but here's one. Who gives a fuck?
Yeah,
How about
I know.
watch the show? Look at the ring skirts, dude. These rocks.
Yeah.
And then the big set. Now, of course, we know this didn't last. The second Thunder set was much, much better.
Uh-huh.
Lord, this is just, what is this?
This is Fred Flintstone wrestling.
It is.
Yes. I had forgotten how. Yeah. There's a sign out front that says, just skydive. What? Ah, bless their heart.
NWO is for losers. That guy made that sign on purpose. He went down to the Walmart, bought a poster board, bought a Sharpie, said, honey,
we're gonna make
guess
a sign.
what I'm doing?
Yeah. Gonna make a sign.
Look at the little cameraman TV stand that only WCW had, but they even put the rock shit around that too.
You know, there's been, obviously we're talking 25 years ago, but it's kind of Savage had just told the referee Billy Silverman to go tell Chris Adams something.
Yes.
Yeah, while he sold.
And here comes Luger nailing him with a chair shot. Gonna slide the Macho Man in. Unbelievably. Check this out. Chris Adams is on top.
Adams covers, and Chris Adams beats Savage thanks to Lex Luger.
His hand raised in victory. Chris Adams.
How about that? The first blow struck is by WCW on Thunder, and it happens at the expense of a out cold Macho Man Randy Savage.
I got to tell you, Chris Adams, criminally underrated, the master of the super kick, taught a lot of guys the business, including Stone Cold Steve Austin. What a legacy he leaves behind. But this is probably his most high profile win of his entire career.
Yeah.
Live on TBS, beating the Macho Man Randy Savage on the very first episode.
Yeah.
That's a big deal. And they're taking a break, so we should too. I'm going to hit it at 13:45. And now we're taking a break to tell everybody about something that you know I'm passionate about, Chili Sleep. We'll peek behind the curtain here, Tony. This past week, I took my wife to the beach for her birthday, and we packed the Chili Sleep. All excited. Then I realized I forgot to pack my power cord.
Jeez.
Buddy, I slept like shit for 4 days in a row. And last night was my first night home. And I was so anxious to have my Chili Sleep. I went to bed as soon as the Jaguars were done, the Titans. And I woke up just minutes before we clicked record. I slept over 9 hours. I didn't toss. I didn't turn. I didn't fight with the covers. I had deep, bright, vivid, colorful dreams. I was drooling. It's that level of sleep. I was drooling. Chili Sleep did it. Chili Sleep is all the change from the last 4 days to now. I was sleeping better than ever, and you will be too. Now, Sleep Me is the new home for Chili Sleep. They're bringing you the same great sleep that Chili Sleep offered, but now under this new name. Sleep Me makes the coldest, most comfortable sleep systems available today. Here's what they do. They create the environment that meets the body's natural need for lower core temperatures, and that's going to promote deeper, more restorative sleep. I believe it. I've experienced it. Chili Sleep makes the Ooler. That's the one I got. The Cube and the Doc Pro sleep system. All three are water-based, temperature-controlled mattress toppers that fit over your existing mattress to provide you your ideal sleep temperature. These mattress pads keep your bed at the perfect temperature for deep, cold sleep. These sleep systems are designed to help you fall asleep, stay asleep, and give you the confidence and energy to power through your day. They also just launched the brand new Doc Pro sleep system. It has 2 times more cold power than the other models. It's super quiet. It has a tubeless mattress pad design that allows for 5 times more cooling contact. Another cool little thing, think of this as like your smart thermostat for your bed. They've got a Sleep.me app that's got enhanced device control and sleep scheduling. Let me explain. You don't have to touch any of your equipment. You just pull it up on your phone, bam, bam, bam. My wife has hers automated. She gets in a warm bed, but then it cools her off so she doesn't get all hot and sweaty, and then it warms her up to wake up. She set it one time, and now it's her permanent schedule. That's it. we're getting the best sleep of our life, Tony. And I think we've got a special offer so our listeners can too.
That's right there, Drool Breath. You are right. Head over to sleep.me/WHW to learn more. Save $25 off the purchase of any new Doc Pro, Cube, or Uller sleep system. Now, this offer is available exclusively for What Happened When listeners, and only for a limited time. That's sleep, sleep.me/WHW to take advantage of our exclusive discounts and wake up refreshed every day.
I want to remind everybody, it's 25% off, not $25 off. You're going to save so much money. I don't know. It's much more than $25. Go see what 25% off is. It's a good deal.
Did I say $25?
You did, but you know what? I knew you meant 25% off because everybody knows we're all about passing the savings along.
25% off.
But how about this? 25% more sleep with 25% less price at sleep.me/WHW. And Tony, I'm at 1345 here on the very first Thunder in 3, 2, 1, play.
We are back on Thunder. We are live on TBS as we usher in a brand new era of live professional wrestling to the station that has brought you professional wrestling for 25 plus years. Well, the NWO fans are out.
Listen, to me, this is what should open the show. Play that iconic NWO music.
Yep.
Get Hulk Hogan out here strutting.
Yeah.
Fans would have popped.
I agree. Look at that set. Isn't that brutal?
It's awful, dude. What is it? I feel like some kids are going to climb it and get a prize.
You know what it is?
What?
It is a kidney stone up close. That's exactly what it is.
A kidney stone up close.
Uh-huh. Kidney stone under a microscope. That's what it is.
I feel like we might have a shirt right now over at lowestreels.com. You ever seen a kidney stone up close?
Thunder set. Did you ever ask David Crockett who designed this? Because he would have known.
No, but I want to punch him into his ball meat. Because this is bad. Dude.
This is bad.
People talk about how much they miss the WCW sets, and Lord, I do too, especially when it comes to things like Bash at the Beach and Halloween Havoc. There were some really cool sets.
Right.
This is probably the worst WCW set of all time.
Do you think that deep down inside, now Eric would know the answer to this. He may not know the answer to this, but you think deep down inside, this was like, we really don't want to do this show, so fuck it. Just put anything out there.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was clearly an afterthought.
Yeah. Yeah, the steep decline of WCW. Wow.
And this promo, by the way, I think is where we hear a little hint of why they changed the finish. Why the finish didn't go exactly as planned or
that'll be interesting.
As originally discussed. Is it just me or does Hulk Hogan just look cool here?
Yeah, man.
Let's take a listen.
You wish.
So Heenan said "you wish" right there because he said the heavyweight champion of the world. So there's still this big debate. What's going on with the title?
Tonight, Hollywood gets his title back. Well, you know, boss, as I was laying out on Daytona Beach, brother, every good-looking girl in a bikini said, "Yes, Hollywood, you are the man. Yes, Hollywood, we love you. And yes, Hollywood, you beat Sting for a 1, 2, 3. Because Hollywood is just too sweet." Now that everybody knows at home, on NWO Thunder tonight, you're going to see the tape. You're going to see the 1, the 2, the very slow 3 count. You're going to know why. That's the way it was. That's the way it is. And that's the way it always will be. That Hollywood is the only heavyweight champion in the world. I've got the largest pythons in the world. And I'm too rich.
Uh-oh.
I'm too big.
Uh-oh.
And I'm just too darn tan.
Tan.
Wow. There it is.
He just admitted it.
Yes, he did. Not only that, he stole from Ric Flair and Bret Hart. He talked about all the girls saying, Hollywood, you're the man.
Yeah.
And he talked about that's the way it was. That's the way it always will be. So he stole from both their interviews at the beginning of this. And
Dude, I was too darn tan.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what Eric Bischoff admits. I mean, why'd you change his finish? Well, Sting wasn't tan. What? And then Hogan says, "Oh yeah, I'm just too darn tan."
Wow.
By the way, what's happening in the rest of the wrestling world, if you will, the WWF is still building towards Royal Rumble, and Shawn Michaels is the world champion there. He's going to be in a casket match against The Undertaker.
Wow.
The Rock is now the Intercontinental Champion. Stone Cold is gaining some steam, and we know Mike Tyson is about to pop up on WWF programming. On the other channel, Shane Douglas is the world champion. Taz is the TV champion. Chris Candido and Lance Storm are the tag team champions. We're just a few days removed from the Tokyo Dome show from New Japan, which was Riki Choshu's retirement and Kensuke Sasaki retaining the IWGP heavyweight title over Mr. Muto in the main event.
Yeah.
What's your favorite Riki Choshu match?
Did he ever wrestle in WCW?
Yes.
Okay. It probably would have been that one.
Yeah. Somewhere Excalibur is very disappointed in you.
Yeah, well. Dude, I need to say this.
Okay.
He's a fucking amazing announcer.
Dude, he's so good. He knows everything. He works so hard.
Oh, there's nobody like him. I'm telling you. He is an amazing fucking announcer.
No argument from me.
Yeah, and I, as an old fucker here, I've learned so much from him. I really have. He's taught me a lot about how things should be done. We do have a lot of fun during the commercial breaks.
Oh man, if you've never listened on Fight, I recommend that you subscribe to the Fight service where there's no commercials.
Right.
And you get to watch the same program, but no commercials, and they have a lot of fun.
We have a lot of fun during the commercial breaks, especially when Taz is out there. We just, so JJ's talking right now, and no one really listening to our podcast, and none of our hosts here, you and me, give a shit.
Well, here we are 21 minutes into the program.
Yeah.
And we've had a Hulk Hogan promo, which, don't get me wrong, was of consequence.
Yeah.
And then we had a Randy Savage upset victory with a little storyline, but the rest is just filler.
Yeah.
And here's Lex Luger.
Year and a half, we've been trashed, had our skulls cracked, and been trashed from coast to coast by NWO Hall, Nash, Hogan, and you, Macho Man. And now you're out here being a man of action. Is that what I'm hearing? I'm getting sick to my stomach. I'm sick and tired. These people here are sick and tired, and everyone out there is getting sick and tired. You want to take action with me? That's fine. You want to find me? You want to reverse decisions? That's fine with me. But I've had it up to here with decisions in the NWO. It's about time that we, WCW, we've gotten together. We're going to take matters in our own hands. I've talked to Diamond Dallas Page. I've talked to Sting. I've talked to Giant and every other wrestler in WCW. And I'll tell you what, from now on, James, you do what you want, but we're going to do what we want. Where were you guys in Starrcade when I got hit with a dog collar by a guy I'm going to take care of later on in this show, Scott Norton? Where were you guys last time on Nitro when I almost got my skull cracked open on the stairs by Macho Man? I'm sick and tired of it, and I'm doing what I got to do from now on, and so is every other wrestler in WCW.
Mike, I don't find any particular pleasure in this ruling, but I'm just trying to do my job. The decision stands. The winner of the first match tonight by disqualification is Macho Man Randy Savage, and that's official.
Well, Lex Luger makes some valid points. WCW laying down the law. Tony, back to you.
Mike,
Well, you know what? That was a pretty good Lex Luger promo.
It was very good.
Yeah.
No argument for me.
Yeah.
I think you're going to be interested to see the rest of the matches that are on this card because, yes, we're still going to see some clips. We got clips from Starrcade coming. Look at here. Here's Louis Spicoli.
Oh, my God.
He's going to say, "Hi, Mom." Pulled his ear twice, said, "Hi, Mom." The real innovator is the T-shirt he's wearing, and it's because over on the other program, ECW, Tommy Dreamer's calling himself the innovator of violence. And people on ECW are talking about who created the Death Valley Driver. And, of course, he's saying he did it. That's his third time saying, "I love you, Mom." Yeah. It's just sad to see this because we know 5 weeks after this, he's going to get dead.
Wow. Yeah, Louis was out. Louis was our Chris Farley.
Man. So listen, we had Chris Adams, who was a throwback, a name from yesteryear, who was out there in the first match. And now in our second match, Rick Martel. This isn't his WCW debut. That happened on Nitro. I don't know why we didn't save it for here, but Rick Martel, don't get me wrong, did a lot of great things in professional wrestling, certainly the AWA, but I imagine his most high-profile run with this audience that's in the seats here is when he was the model for the WWF.
That's right.
And so when he comes out and he's not the model, now, hey, didn't that guy used to be the model? Which is probably a shame, but really more of an indictment of how big the WWF had gotten at that point, because nobody is probably even considering him as like the AWA World Champion. But one thing that really stuck out for me is the shape he showed up in. Look at this. He looks as good as ever here.
Oh, yeah. And how far removed are we from his career coming to an end in his match with Booker T?
I think Booker T ended his career just a year later.
Okay, wow. Yeah, Rick Martel looked good, man. He did.
You know what? I was wrong. It happened July 13th this same year.
Oh my God.
So this is it for both of these guys in wrestling here.
Yeah.
1998. Wow. I can't believe Spicoli was gone that fast, man. Like, what a sad and tragic story. A young man, golly, had his whole life in front of him. Imagine how much fun he'd be having in wrestling these days.
Yeah. He was such a goofball. I mean, he really was. I mean, he was a good performer, but he was such a freaking goofball. I'm not so sure that he would even be in wrestling. If he were alive, he'd be in wrestling today. Maybe I'm wrong.
I think he'd be a talking head. He'd have a podcast. He'd be working on a website. He'd be a trainer. He'd be somewhere in the space. I'm not saying he'd be taking bumps. He ain't Chris Jericho.
Or be in the front office or anything like that.
Oh, no, I don't know. Who wants to do that?
Yeah.
Only the goofs want to be front office in wrestling.
That's what I've heard. Speaking of goofs, here comes a bunch of them.
With the titties torn out.
Wow.
I'm telling you, I got Megan a shirt like Van Hammer last week just because.
That's great. He had signed Rick Martel rules WCW. What the hell?
Yeah, that was his mom.
That had to. What the?
Seriously, he lived in Florida. So, I mean,
okay.
I'm sure a family member just drove over.
As, by the way, most of them do right now.
Everybody lives in Florida.
Yeah, just like almost not a bad move, really.
No, great weather, no state income tax.
Yeah. Right. Not a bad move at all.
I'm moving, as you know.
Yeah. How about the Jags, huh? And got a division.
Dude, what a run. Did you see that finish last night?
Yeah, I did.
Dude, I'm not normally a Titans guy or a Jags guy, but it was the only thing good on TV. So I watched it. And man, that scoop and score, I was like, holy shit, man. This was exciting. Just a couple minutes left. It felt like for sure it was a done deal. And then it wasn't. The NFL's fake. The NFL is rigged. Everybody knows that.
Yeah. The Trevor Lawrence he's good. Only his second year. Wow.
I was just thankful that Jeff Jarrett didn't show up and try to hit him with a guitar.
Not only that, dude, is Jeff Jarrett still not a great performer?
Jeff Jarrett is the best wrestling heel in wrestling in 2023.
That match, man.
Oh man,
That match.
I meant to play this clip and I
Yeah.
missed it. But if you go back and you listen to the commentary,
Uh-huh.
when Rick Martel puts that Boston Crab on Louis Spicoli,
Yeah.
Bobby Heenan can't help himself, and it falls out of his mouth. Something like, it's a lot like Jericho's finishing maneuver. The walls of come on, Bobby, help us out. Don't dime him out right here. So anyway, Jeff Jarrett, he's a heel.
Yeah.
You're telling us a story.
Well, I'm just saying that the opening match of Battle of the Belts
Yeah.
to me was one of the more entertaining tag team matches I've seen in a long time. It really was. And of course, you got to credit Jarrett and I mean all the guys, right? Billy
Yes.
Gunn was involved, but you got to, just Jarrett and Lethal are such pros, and Sanjay putting on that referee
shirt. Yeah.
and Aubrey sliding the ring with him on all fours, looking at each other, just about as entertaining as you can get.
I'm really glad that Jeff has had the success he's had in wrestling over the last year or
Yeah.
so. I mean, the last 12 months have been his year, man. Good
Yeah.
for him.
Yeah, we need more Jeff Jarretts in pro wrestling. I'm
Well,
serious.
let's not get ahead of ourselves.
Okay. Well, that being possible, there's only one Jeff Jarrett.
Yeah, he is what he's got down pat as we're
Yeah.
seeing yet another clip. This is a clip from Starrcade where Kevin Nash no-showed his match with the Giant. So Scott Hall, who wasn't booked on the biggest show of the year, comes out and does a mocking promo and going to get a little choke slam for his troubles.
God,
In
was it-
hindsight, by the way, some of the booking for Starrcade 97, like who makes this card? Like,
Well, I guess Kevin Sullivan was a booker back then, right?
I'm just saying, originally, Macho Man wasn't even on the thing. Conan didn't make it, so they put him on. But this is your biggest show of the year. And we got room for Steve McMichael and a brand new Goldberg and Saturn and Buff Bagwell and Larry Zbyszko and hell, Eric Bischoff. They're all on the card. But Randy Savage, Scott Hall, y'all go take a seat. Hey, Rey Mysterio, we don't need you. I mean, what are we doing?
Yeah.
Look at this. That is impressive to look at.
Yeah.
I mean, he's holding him up there like he's literally nothing. And that is not, I mean, I know people don't think about Scott Hall as being one of the big guys in wrestling. He's Hulk Hogan size. He's 6'7".
Yeah.
It's a big fella.
I may have brought this up before, but Paul White's starting to do play-by-play for us.
Yep.
On Elevation. And I think he's going to be very, very good. I told him, I said, go back and listen to Gorilla Monsoon and listen to all what he did. And Paul is so willing to learn. He really is, and work hard at being an announcer. I have a lot of time for him.
When did he start with y'all?
I guess it was 95, wasn't it?
I'm in AEW, February 2021.
Oh.
So he's been there almost 2 years now.
Okay. Yeah.
Isn't that crazy? Where's the time go?
I know. Look at us.
Yeah.
We started this in January 2017, right?
Look, they got assholes moving these set pieces aside that we see. We see the asshole. And speaking of assholes,
What?
Here's Tenzan, who, by the way, not an asshole, but you're going to treat him like one here on the program.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
As he walks out, I'm going to say, who the fuck is this asshole? Is that what I said when he walked out?
I'm sure if my uncle was watching, that's what he said. Look at that guy.
Yeah. Thumbs down.
All these thumbs down, like
That's-
sourpuss faces. Why was that ever a thing?
I don't know. Cameraman did that.
Oh, they would tell him to. I know that.
Yeah, right.
But it looks hokey and stupid.
It does. It looks hokey.
Speaking of hokey and stupid, how about those horns? Would you wear those horns to the bedroom? Let Lois know tonight it's going down.
No, but damn, that would be funny.
Dude, I need it. I need you to come around the corner.
Do you know how many dogs would just bark
Oh
at
my
me?
God.
Oh God, it
They
was.
lose their mind.
Yeah.
Look at this. Look at what y'all are doing to him. O'Hara, listen to the music.
There's an interesting history between Sonny Ono and the NWO. It was back in May on Nitro that Sonny Ono brought the great.
Could you make a more stereotypical character?
No.
I mean, listen, if we really do StarCast in Australia, you reckon I'm going to have like Nick Aldis wrestle a goddamn kangaroo or something? No.
No. What's this about StarCast in Australia?
Something about koala bears. I don't know.
Well, if you do,
If you do, I do every day, Tony, whether I need to or not.
if you happen to do,
I happen to do every day, Tony, at least twice. We've talked about this.
well, if you do StarCast in Australia, I ain't coming. There
Buddy, you don't come to my fucking wedding.
This guy's got a big Japanese letter on his back.
By the way, his nickname here, or his wrestling name here, is O'Hara.
Mm-hmm.
And Bobby the Brain Heenan says, this guy's so famous they named an airport after him.
Only Heenan.
Listen, I can appreciate that sometimes people like Dave Meltzer would take issue with the fact that we weren't always presenting some of these international talents in the best light. We weren't positioning them as serious contenders. And if the announcers felt comfortable disregarding them or making jokes, then why should the fans take them seriously? I get all that. However, when you dress these motherfuckers up like this,
yeah,
and have them come out to that music,
yeah,
what are we supposed to like? Show us a video package to show us why they're badasses,
right?
And get us. Don't just push them out there cold. Like, well, here's two other guys you don't know. Now, don't make fun of something you don't understand.
Mm-hmm.
I think what wrestling fans are going to do.
The other guy's got trunks that he got at the Ribera Steakhouse, right?
Yes. By the way, I know you were concerned about what was happening in All Japan. Masawa was the Triple Crown champion when this was going on, and the All Japan World Tag Team champions were Kenta Kobashi, arguably the greatest wrestler that ever lived, and Johnny Ace, Road Warrior Animal's brother, who we know as N.D.A. Jones. Number one song in the world at the time here in early 1998. You want to guess? Let me give you a hint. It was by Elton John. You should know it.
Okay, it was Kiss the Bride.
Candle in the Wind.
Oh, that was the redo. That was the redo of it.
Well, because of Princess Diana.
Yeah, that's right. That's why it was the redo, because he redid the song for her. So
yes,
because the original Candle in the Wind came out on the Goodbye Yellow Brick Road album, which was earlier 70s.
What was the talk in wrestling in this era? Because this is the month, I think, where Bill Clinton came out and denied having sexual relations with that young woman.
Yeah.
What was the talk in wrestling about? Hey, our president maybe got a beach in the Oval Office. Mm. To me, in wrestling, that didn't probably seem like a big deal.
Well, I think things were like everybody else. We were just making jokes about it.
Right.
Yeah. Say, man, President of the United States gets a beach in the Oval Office. Boy, he's got some balls. Right? Cojones. Be able to do that. I mean, you think you've got this, you are the most powerful man in the world. You got everything going your way, and you risk it by just, don't know. That's some confidence in yourself, man.
I don't know if it's confidence.
Well, okay. All right. It's probably ignorance more than.
No, I'm just saying, like, guys, well, you know how we are.
Yeah.
Old big head, little head Jones.
Yeah. And you know what? I get that. But we're talking about being the president of the United States. And you would think that you would like, no. no, I can't risk this. I mean, if I'm employed at Quick Trip and I get a beach in the back,
right?
I'm going to risk that job by getting a beach in the back, and okay, I'll get a job somewhere else. But if you're the president of the United States, it's a little bit bigger deal.
Well, he probably thought I'll just go be president of Canada. You know?
Yeah. Yes.
By the way, we're watching yet another Nitro recap. This is Bret Hart doing a little back and forth with Ric Flair. But you know what, Tony? Something else happened interesting this past week that I think we can deviate from our watch along because
oh boy,
we already know what this is. And I think Dave Silva has something pulled up on his side.
Pull it up, Dave.
This is our friend Tony Atlas. And well, do you want to watch this footage here?
Okay.
You've seen this tweet? Have you seen that?
I'm not on Twitter. No.
Okay. Well, Tony Atlas just yesterday tweeted out, hashtag old school can give it and they can take it. Hashtag tough, hashtag old, hashtag man, hashtag stomp, hashtag kick, hashtag punch. It's all in the mind and making me feel fine. And that lady you see standing over him physically assaults him. With slaps, with punches, and then starts kicking him in the head. I don't know if Silva has the video.
Is it wrestling kicks?
No.
Happy New Year.
Look at that. Watch the kicks, bud. This is the best part.
The best part is her turning to the
Happy New Year.
By the way, Lord bless that lady for being a good sport.
Yeah.
And B, those are good working punches. Good working kicks. But Lord bless her, I don't think there's a tooth in that head.
Yeah. Say God bless her for forgetting to put in her teeth in.
Look at that.
Happy New Year.
That's enough. It just gets all over me every time.
Okay, Dave. Hit pause on that shit.
I stand before you, embarrassed man.
Jericho's here. We're all embarrassed.
I stand before you and ashamed.
We're all ashamed.
Stand before you, a changed man.
This isn't the tape?
I'm changed
That's
too.
the same thing. The reason I say that is my behavior over the last couple weeks has been atrocious. The real Chris Jericho is not the sniveling, whining baby that you've been watching each and every week. The real Chris Jericho is the man you tune in to watch every single week on your TVs. The real Chris Jericho is the man you've placed on a pedestal. The real Chris Jericho is a role model that's influenced each and every one of your lives in a positive way. And the real Chris Jericho is sorry. Dave Penzer, I'm sorry, I apologize. I'd like to present you with this suit jacket. I apologize to all you screaming, adoring fans in this arena tonight. And to all you people at home, I mark my words, it will never, ever happen again, and you can trust me when I say that.
No, we hope so. We hope so because we have, and Breen, I know you'll agree, we've been very impressed with Chris Jericho, his ability in the ring, but these temper tantrums, I mean, they're reserved for someone like yourself, not him.
So there you go. Nice little story. This is the beginning of Jericho actually getting something of consequence here, storyline wise.
Right.
Prior to this, he's quote unquote just been a wrestler. He's come out and have great matches. But maybe not much else. And now we've got a storyline. He's flipping out, attacking Dave Penzer. Now he's going to come out and apologize, offer that he's got him a new suit and had it dry cleaned and the whole deal because he tore his jacket or whatever. And now he's going to take on Ric Flair on the very first Thunder as we see Rick walking out of the aggro crag, which he's probably woke up in a few times.
Jericho's efforts did not go unnoticed. I mean, Jericho was, am I right to say he was a guy that really put a lot of effort into his character?
No doubt.
Yeah,
I mean, he wrote that promo for himself. That's
Sure.
something that's worth mentioning. That's not something that was written for him. He came up with this on his own, pitched
Right.
it. They went with it.
Yeah.
Like Jericho is proving to the world, hey man, I have a creative mind for this business. I just need a chance.
Yes. He's still proving it today.
And no disrespect.
Yeah.
I mean this because I love those guys, but he's not wrestling Dean Malenko or Rey Mysterio or Juventud Guerrero, who he's normally been wrestling. You know, Alex Wright. Those are all, by the way, incredible in-ring performers.
Yeah.
But he's about to wrestle Ric Flair. Now he's going to lose, but still, if you want to move up the card, you've got to work with guys who are up the card. And Rick checks that box, and this storyline allows him to lose but still be featured. They're taking a break. I think we will too here. I'm at 43:45. That'll do it. And I want to go ahead and bring up a great sponsor here on the program, something that my wife and I have been using long before they were a sponsor because we really believe in it. Way back at the very beginning of the pandemic when everybody's talking about their immune system, my wife said, honey, we got to try Athletic Greens. She ordered it to the house. I started doing it every single morning, and we haven't looked back. We started taking AG1 for our optimization of our immune system, but we've noticed we got better gut health. We got more energy. And she knew that, man, I hate taking pills and vitamins. And if I'm going to do it, she knows she's got to find something that tastes great. AG1 does it. Now, what is this stuff? Well, with one delicious scoop of AG1, you're absorbing 75 high-quality vitamins, minerals, whole food source superfoods, probiotics, and adaptogens, everything you need to help you start your day right. This special blend of ingredients supports your gut health, your nervous system, your immune system, your energy, your focus, your recovery, your aging, all the things. It's not just something that I do, by the way. Eric Bischoff does it. Tony Schiavone does it. Ric Flair does it. Bruce Pritchard does. We're all big believers in AG1. Even Mick Foley's rocking a little AG1. It's lifestyle friendly. Whether you eat keto or paleo or vegan, maybe you're dairy free, maybe you're gluten free. It contains less than 1 gram of sugar, no GMOs, no nasty chemicals, no artificial anything, and it still tastes good. It's going to support mental clarity and alertness. It's going to support better sleep quality and recovery. And we think of it as like your all-in-one nutritional insurance. They've got 7,000 5-star reviews for this product. So you know it's great. Don't just take our word for it. But right now, Tony, we think it's time that we extend a special offer so our listeners can try it and start feeling better too.
It's time to reclaim your health and arm your immune system with convenient daily nutrition. Just 1 scoop in a cup of water every day. That's it. No need for a million different pills and supplements to look out for your health. To make it easy, Athletic Greens is going to give you a free 1-year supply of immune-supporting vitamin D and 5 free travel packs with your first purchase. All you have to do is visit athleticgreens.com/WHW. That is athleticgreens.com/WHW to take ownership over your health and pick up the ultimate daily nutritional insurance.
Boom. And we want to thank AG1 for sponsoring today's podcast and help us feel a little better. Check it out, guys. athleticgreens.com/WHW. They've been with us a long, long time, and it's because it really, really works. This Thunder, maybe not so much working, but we're about to see Ric Flair and Chris Jericho here at 43:45 in 3, 2, 1, play.
Thunder continues live here on TBS. Ric Flair in the debut of Thunder to face Chris Jericho. This should be a great matchup. Two phenomenal athletes. Certainly Flair has the advantage of the experience, but drive and determination and athletic ability, certainly, you got to say Chris Jericho has all of that, Lee Marshall.
Well, if Chris Jericho wanted to test the waters in 1998, Tony, he has jumped right into the deep end with the nature boy Ric Flair.
Man, what a voice he had. Isn't that crazy?
Best. You know, in hindsight, this would have probably been a good match to open up the show, wouldn't it?
It would have been a fantastic match to open up the show.
Yeah.
Lets the fans see the big star.
Mm-hmm.
Gets the storyline going.
Up and coming star. Yep, absolutely.
By the way, it's crazy to think, you know, the future these guys would have together. You know, here we are in January of 1998. Fast forward And at the end of 2001, unbelievably, Chris Jericho is going to beat Stone Cold and The Rock on the same night to become the first undisputed champion.
Right.
But then fast forward to the following summer, I believe it was SummerSlam 02. These guys worked against each other.
Oh.
So they go from working a Thunder here in 98
Uh-huh.
to SummerSlam in 02. Nobody would have called that.
No. Not at all.
Hey, shout out to Nate. He did a little surprise run-in for my my wife's birthday. How about that?
How about that for Pop? Huh?
Yeah. Flew up from Tampa to Perdido Key and hung out with the fam and let the Panhandle learn about who the Nature Boy is.
Did you have you got you a place there?
Yeah. We don't close until next month. Did our walkthrough this past week though.
Okay. Wow. Good for you. I know you talked about that place.
Yeah. Well, it's a 12 house development, and house 1 is available for rent. So this is our second time renting house 1, but it's kind of like test driving your house before it's your house. And house 4, we did a walkthrough this past week, should be ready sometime in February.
Cool. Good internet there.
Great internet. It was
need
the
it.
first thing I checked.
Yep.
Great internet, and gonna need it because that'll be the only way I talk to you because I know you won't come.
Yeah. Which reminds me.
Did I tell you this? Did I tell you who my real estate agent was down there?
No.
Arn Anderson's real life best friend from high school.
Really?
What a small world it is.
Isn't that something?
It's amazing.
Little nut shot.
Well, might be a big nut shot. We don't know.
Yeah.
You know?
Look at Jericho sell it. That's pretty cool. Which reminds me, I was this past week when we were in Seattle.
Yes.
Being a big video game guy like I am, I had a chance to go to Nintendo headquarters in Redmond.
Really?
Yeah.
How cool was that?
That's fucking cool. They have a little museum in there of all the old video games, controllers, consoles that they've come up with forever.
That's killer.
Learned a lot about Nintendo. Had a chance to, after the show in Seattle, meet with many of the, I know I'm going to get this wrong, but they are many of the designers and CEO and guys who work on the game Halo that I love, and talk to them. And I found it very interesting that in the video game world, which, as we know, Conrad, not everybody loves video games. I know you don't, but it's a big world.
Oh, yeah, huge.
Yes. But in the video game world, after the pandemic, most of the coders and the people who work on the games now work at home. They have not returned to the office. And even
it's like that mortgage world mostly.
Yeah, they even were telling me of a guy who does coding in his remote cabin in Scotland.
Wow.
But he has a great internet connection, a T1 internet connection. So he just works at home and then goes out with his dog and will fish and hunt. And just amazing to me how the world has changed. I guess because of COVID, but because of the internet.
Yes.
And because of how it's changed society. When the internet, we all knew the internet was coming. I don't think any of us had a grasp on what it would do to our lives.
No, not with streaming and everything else. By the way, Jericho is lost to the figure 4 and he's going to have another temper tantrum.
History's been made right now. Flair scores his first victory.
What about the whiny, spoiled kid we weren't supposed to see anymore? And off goes Penzer's jacket one more time.
Tore it off. And that's 3 in a row. I can tell you right now, as great of an athlete as this young man is, there's no way we're going to believe him again.
Pull out the medics. He's going to hold his breath in a minute.
More live on Thunder, still to come.
What a blast.
And that was a good segment, man.
Yeah, it was. I love
really good showing from Chris Jericho there.
I love calling him a young man. That's good. Oh, God, I got so much time for Chris Jericho. Jesus. What a great leader. What a great leader he is. And you know how I know he's a great leader?
How do you know he's a great leader, Tony?
Did the job to Action Andretti. Right? Did the job to Ricky Starks. That's a great leader. I'll show you how you can lose and still keep your heat.
Yeah, and he probably learned that from seeing Hulk Hogan lose to Billy Kidman. Another great leader.
On Hood.
I didn't know where I was going to use that, but that was good enough for right there.
Ming is here on the program.
No, I'm serious about Jericho. It is.
Oh, we all are.
Yes.
Dude, listen, we're busting balls here trying to be funny, but
right.
Yeah, he's proven that he's willing to work with younger talent and
make them stars. Make them stars.
He'll go swim in mimosas. He don't care.
No, he doesn't.
Yes.
I know you always go back to that mimosa. It's your same. It's your
no,
same.
Only because you sell for it every time.
It's
if
your
you
same,
quit selling, I'd quit using it.
Okay, it's your same safe haven as me talking about Paul E. eating 8 pumpkin pies every Thanksgiving.
Does he do 8?
So what do you think? What do you think Taz is? Since Taz is the television champion right now of ECW at this time,
yes.
What do you think his payoffs were? Do you think he got payoffs?
Yeah, he got paid. I would say he made in 1998. I would guess that my man made $175,000.
Okay, I'm sure he did because he would be the guy that threatened to stretch Paul if he didn't pay him.
Let me assure you, Taz got paid.
Yes, that's what I'm thinking.
Taz is, I think the word I would use would be a lot. Taz was a lot.
Yeah. And I can't tell you enough how great it is to work with him.
It's best.
It's just look at Jimmy Hart.
Can you believe the way he just picked him up like that?
Yeah. But Taz is so much fun to work with. God,
how about a high kick from and another press slam? This time with one arm, mostly with one arm. I mean, if you watch that footage, the Giant just held Jimmy Hart up by his groin because the hand that was supporting his head was kind of not doing much.
Yeah, yeah.
All the weight was on the mouth of the South penis meat.
Yeah, it was. The hand was all wrapped around the privates.
Would that be something you would look forward to, getting press slammed by the Giant if it meant he, grabbed you in your no-no?
No, I don't think going down would have been as funny as going up.
I don't know where to go from there. I'm just gonna let that comment just marinate. Because I was like, is that we got a friend in the group chat who really likes tall chicks.
Really?
Oh yeah, a lot.
Okay, who would that friend be? Can you expose his name?
I don't want to say his he has a girlfriend now, so I don't want to say his real name here. We'll just call him Rotten Crotch. An old Rotten Crotch.
Just likes him tall girls.
His dream is like a Satnam Singh size woman.
Wow.
He wants an 8-foot lady. So does old Pondwater Dave, though. Pondwater Dave is vertically challenged.
Yeah.
And I think he'd love to climb a tree.
I dated a very tall lady one time.
Really?
Yeah, it was the last girl I dated before I moved out of Virginia and moved to North Carolina, where I met Lois, and my life changed. So, yeah, she was very tall. She was
you know what?
6'1".
I think we need to take a break here. I'm going to hit it at 54:21. And the reason we're taking a break, well, Tony's talking about his love life. We got to start talking about Tony's wing. The nights are getting longer, but the breeze isn't the only thing that's getting stiff. That's right. Tony Schiavone right now is rock hard. Guys, we all know confidence can take you far in life. That's especially true in the bedroom. know when it's time to step up to the plate. And that's where Blue Chew comes in. Blue Chew is a unique online service that delivers the same active ingredients as Viagra and Cialis, but in chewable form and at a fraction of the cost. Take them anytime, day or night. You can plan ahead or be ready whenever an opportunity arises. Now, the process is simple, y'all. You sign up at BlueChew.com. You consult with one of their licensed medical providers. Once you're approved, you'll receive your prescription within days. And here's the best part. It's all done online. That means no visits to the doctor's office, no awkward conversation, no waiting in line at the pharmacy. Blue Chew's tablets are made in the USA. They prepare and ship directly to your door, all in a discreet package. But there won't be anything discreet about your package.
Da-dum-ting.
Tony, I think we got a special deal right now.
You're exactly right, Ween Breath. If you could benefit from extra confidence when it's time to perform, she wouldn't do it. Have better sex. And we got the special deal, which is try Blue Chew free when you use our promo code WHW at checkout. Just pay $5 shipping. That's BlueChew.com, promo code WHW to receive your first month for free. Visit BlueChew.com for more details and important safety information. And from the Blue Chew Studios, we thank Blue Chew for sponsoring our podcast. What happened when?
You just call me Ween Breath?
I don't remember. I'm just old and I can't remember the beginning of paragraphs sometimes.
I love you. 54-21. Here we go. In 3, 2, 1, play.
Next Thunder will be next Thursday, January 15th. We will be in Lakeland, Florida at the Lakeland Civic Center. Tickets available at the Civic Center Arena box office and all Ticketmaster locations.
See those legs again? They're just terrible. This is such a bullshit piece of shit presentation.
You can see guys opening them up. Oh, God.
Here's my question too. Like, what are those guys' titles? I'm asshole number 1. I'm asshole number 2.
Yeah, I guess so.
I mean, the Nitro set was cool and fun and iconic. Yeah. And this feels like we went down to 2nd grade and we had the kids draw pictures of what they thought a cool set would look like. Holy shit. David Crockett's grandkids drew this, didn't they? That's how this came to be.
They had to. How long did this last? Is it documented?
Not long. Not long.
Okay. When the new set came about. Okay.
Isn't that crazy, dude?
Yeah.
By the way, Meltzer would recap this show. He would say, there's more jockeying for position on television with WCW moving to 3 hours on Monday, debuting Thunder on Thursday, and above all, ratings have improved from already strong numbers every Monday with football season having ended. The Thunder debut drew a 4.02 rating, which is a 3.75 first hour, a 4.25 second hour, and a 4.03 third hour. And this is head to head with NBC's unbelievable Thursday lineup. I want to remind everybody, this is the era where they had Friends, Seinfeld, and ER all on the same night.
Wow.
Arguably 3 of the top 4 shows in the world at the time.
Right.
And here it is. Meltzer would say, even though the show was almost totally forgettable, except for another great in-ring confrontation between Ric Flair and Bret Hart, the audience is into the hype and pageantry of WCW wrestling. The show actually peaked for a replay of Eric Bischoff versus Larry Zbyszko Starrcade match and remained strong until the dying of the poor Diamond Dallas Page Kevin Nash main event. It fell from a 4.3 to a 3.4 during that match, and that's with weaker local news competition than ER and no opposing wrestling show to turn to. The show was supposed to go 3 hours and immediately be followed by a replay, which did a 1.3 rating, but it actually went about 15 minutes long due to the Flair Hart deal for the second straight time going far longer than they were supposed to. It was said to have been the highest rated debut for a weekly series in the history of cable, which is somewhat misleading since NFL games always draw better and pro wrestling shows in the 80s debuted with numbers in that range and sometimes higher, although with cable in its infancy, the total audience was far lower. Literally almost nobody knew until a few days ahead whether the debut show would be 2 or 3 hours. The plan for a regular basis of the show will be 8:05 to 10:05, followed by a movie from 10:05 to 12:35, And then the replay from 12:35 to 2:35 in the AM. And as we're watching here, we're seeing Goldberg in a rematch with Steve McMichael from Starrcade, and Goldberg not even letting Mongo get a 1 count on him. How about that, though? You didn't know until a few days ahead of time. Is it 2 hours or 3? I'm not sure.
Wow.
It's crazy, which explains why we got all these packages and recaps. We're trying to fill this extra hour.
Yeah. Not a good spear, but the fans still popped on it anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's crazy is you see, like, the crowd is not yet with him.
No,
I mean,
right.
he's out here figuring it out, but he's doing the facials. He's doing all the right stuff. But just a few months after this, man, they would be red hot for him. But here, he's still just building the resume, and we know 1998 is going to be his year.
Yeah.
Maybe the biggest year anybody had in wrestling, like from nobody to superstar, top of the biz that fast. Is that maybe the fastest rise you recall?
Yeah, and not only that, I've never seen anybody rise to stardom the way he did without doing promos. That's unheard of in the business, even today. You got to be able to talk to get over. You always have to be able to talk to get over. It's something that we talk about backstage a lot with these kids. But Goldberg didn't. I mean, he would scream, "Who's next?" Shit like that. But that was about it. So this was an amazing thing. It was unlike anything we had seen in wrestling. Unlike anything I had seen in wrestling, put it that way.
Yeah. By the way, the old Aggro Crag set lasts for a whole 3 episodes. So you get this episode, 2 more. And I'm sure what happened here is somebody saw this and said, that shit ain't going to cut it. We got to get another one. And it took a little time to make.
Yeah, but you know what? There's another thing that could have happened here too, is that we want a real good set, but they want the show out now. So while we're building a good set, let's just throw this shit out we can get out right now. That could have happened too. This is just the temporary fix because, hey, a TV company that obviously knows how to run wrestling wants the show now.
Who was so big on these doors that open like this? Because this happened on WCW Saturday Night and now on Thunder.
I don't know.
That was actually the first time it looked cool, even though we saw the assholes. Yeah. As soon as it opened, Buff Bagwell just jumped right out. That was hilarious.
Yeah.
Well done. Shout out to Conan, who I know is dealing with some health stuff.
Yeah.
Talked about how great he's feeling now that he's doing dialysis, and he just hated it before, but it's been a game changer for him. And just glad to hear he's pulling the nose up. One of the real good guys in wrestling.
Yeah, and one of the bigger names in wrestling.
No doubt.
Yeah.
Globally huge.
Yeah. He's man, why he has Disco Inferno with him on his podcast blows me away. But you know what? Everybody needs an idiot. I'm your idiot. Why not Disco Inferno be his idiot?
I'm your idiot.
No, wrong.
I'm the one who gets on here and says stupid shit.
Here comes some badasses.
Yeah, they are, man. The Steiner brothers with Ted DiBiase. And listen, I appreciate that we're trying to keep Ted in a gig here.
Yeah.
We brought him over to be a part of the NWO, and then essentially Bischoff stole his gimmick, took his job. So now we got to find something for him to do. And he's with the Steiners, and hey, that's something. But when I think of the Steiners, never, not ever do I think about them being with Ted DiBiase. I mean, I know it happened.
Right.
But it's just like, nah. Sort of like and Lord, I love me some Ted DiBiase. The $1 Million Man when I was a kid was such an iconic character. But remember when on the WWF, they brought the Legion of Doom, Paul Ellering, and then they found that fucking dummy Rocco?
Yeah.
I choose to block that out. I choose to remember the Road Warriors with Paul Ellering, but not with the dummy. And I'm not comparing Ted DiBiase to that, but I'm saying I do block it out in a similar manner.
Oh, okay.
Where it's like, I don't want to even remember them with Rocco. Well, I don't really want to remember the Steiners with Ted DiBiase. Like, it just doesn't fit for me.
You know, we have conversations backstage all the time.
Yeah.
And we have pretty cool conversations about wrestling and what you witnessed as you were moving up, as you were, going through wrestling, and I talk about all the time. Who was the real badass backstage?
Rick Steiner.
Yes, that's it. It was Rick Steiner,
Mm-hmm.
and not that he beat up people backstage, but he is the one guy that no one knew that if it came down to being a shoot, everyone knew who would win. It would be Rick Steiner. He was just legit.
All right, let's talk about this. This is fun, the fantasy book. 3-way dance.
All right.
Rick Steiner,
Uh-huh.
Ming,
Okay.
Ron Simmons.
Okay. Stalemate, I think. Steiner was one. Okay. We just got names. Ming. You're right. Absolutely. Ron Simmons. But there was another one that I was not familiar with.
Okay.
When I asked the guys who had worked in the WWE.
Right.
And you know what name comes up?
The Karate Man. Steve Blackman?
No.
I don't know.
Shelton Benjamin.
Oh, now I knew he was a world-class wrestler.
Yeah.
But I didn't know he would fuck your deal up.
Oh, they're guys who would say that's one guy who had an amateur background, who was a great athlete that you just didn't want to fuck with.
Right.
Yeah. Not that he was in the corner saying, "Get out of my face," but just guys knew how good of an athlete he was, and they knew that when push came to shove, And there's some stories that I'm not going to reveal here that I've heard because it's not up to me to reveal. But anyway, I never met Shelton Benjamin, but I think it's great that his name comes up when we talk about, legit guys backstage.
You got a time code for us, Tony? Every now and again, we like to hit our fans a little time code.
104 45 46 47. That's where I am. You close?
Yep. No, I'm there with you.
All right.
I listen, since we're teasing stories we can't tell.
Yeah.
I've been saying on this program for a while that WWE was going to sell.
Yeah.
Do you know why I said that?
Why?
Because I knew.
Okay.
You know how I knew?
You and Bruce Pritchard are friends, or you either bought the WWE yourself.
Remember when Nick Khan first joined WWE?
No, I don't remember that.
Well, he joined, and he was, of course, an agent.
Okay.
Big, you've heard of like UTA and CAA and WME and all these big Hollywood agencies.
Right.
He was a guy who's helping negotiate contracts and make deals and things like that. And I happen to have some friends who need representation like that. We'll say that.
Okay.
And my friend was represented by the same company that Nick Khan was sort of running.
Okay.
And when my friend sees that the guy who runs this big agency is now going to WWE, he thought, what the fuck? This doesn't make any sense.
Right.
So he called his contact and said, dude, what's up with Nick going blah, blah, blah. And he said, this is years ago now.
Uh-huh.
Well, yeah, he's got a deal with Vince where it's in his contract. He gets a big payday when he helps facilitate a sale.
Okay.
And he told me the number. And I won't say the number because that's talking about somebody's money and that's not cool. But let's just say this. It's more than AEW's TV contract is for a year.
Okay.
It's a lot.
Sure.
It's a lot.
All right.
So when you hear it's a lot.
Yeah.
And you think, well, why don't this guy go here? Aha. And now, ta-da. So and listen, I heard back channeling of before Mean Gene passed away. He said, well, I heard from, and I won't say who he heard from, when the stock gets to so-and-so. This has been brewing for a while. And I know that a lot of wrestling fans are thinking, well, this is just a brand new development. It's years old.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been nervous all along, Tony. What if it all changes? Like, we've only ever known WWE through the Vince McMahon lens. And I know we're starting to see, or we've seen the last few months, what technically it looks like when somebody else is running it.
Yep.
But it was always kind of the same.
Right.
Like, will this go, like if this sells to some television company, will we stop the big arena shows? Will we stop the big push for live stuff? Will it become more of a streaming thing? Will it feel more like Lucha Underground, where it's just taped on a soundstage and then put together like a drama? Or will there be seasons? Like there's no off season in wrestling. Will it be, oh, Randy Orton's not in this season? Well, this could all be way different, is what I'm saying. If non-wrestling people are controlling it, it could look a lot different.
Yeah.
And that to me is interesting to think about what it might look like, what it could look like, how it could change just like that.
Yeah.
It's fascinating to think about, I think.
Yeah.
Well, appreciate your participation here. We're seeing Starrcade 1997. This is yet another clip. We got to fill this third hour. So what are we going to do? We're going to show you Eric Bischoff versus Larry Zbyszko from Starrcade 97. Any more comments or commentary about a potential WWE sale, or not?
No, I don't work for the WWE. I don't need to comment on it.
Well, I don't work there either.
I just think that it's a very interesting time in wrestling right now.
No doubt about that. No doubt about that.
Yeah.
I'll tell you a story off air you won't believe.
Okay.
Yeah, you're gonna like this one.
Right.
But before we do, as we see Eric Bischoff coming out here to wrestle at Starrcade 97, and I kind of forgot that he had oiled himself up. Do you see that?
Yeah.
He oiled himself up.
Oiled himself up.
You like making fun of what do you call them in my group chat? Do you call them idiots? Is that the word you use?
Stooges.
Stooges. Okay.
Yeah.
We now got some stooges in my group chat. Something happened in the group chat that was so funny this week. I said to myself, I got to show this to Tony Schiavone. And I tagged in our great close personal friend, Mr. Dave Silva. And with his help, we've censored some of the names. But this is to the group chat.
All right.
Do you want to read that out loud?
God damn it. One of these motherfuckers has been monkeying with the bidet settings, and now my asshole has 3 layers fewer of skin. If I were Eric, I'd be fist pumping with excitement about a more tender, sensitive asshole. Alas, I'm not.
And then another friend chimes in and says,
Bet you came like a mule. Jesus. This is probably.
Can you imagine having a bidet setting set so high that it removed layers of skin from your asshole?
I think we need to explain what a bidet is. Maybe a lot of people don't realize it's only a thing that the rich use.
No, that's not true, Mr. Range Rover. Brand new red on red Range Rover.
Okay.
I discovered what's called a washlet. And for a couple $100, you can enjoy a clean beehole.
Mm.
You take off your existing toilet seat, you place on the new washlet seat. You do have to make sure it has water hookup, and you do have to make sure that you can plug it into an outlet. So the house down at the beach, here's a little pro tip for you, Tony. Every toilet's going to have a washlet. There's outlets behind every toilet. Roll Tide.
Okay.
You're going to have a clean. Listen, here's what's a shame to me, that you're sitting over here shaming it. And as I'm looking at you right now, I'm looking at a man who has doo-doo butt.
No, I don't.
Yes, you do.
No, I don't.
Tony, let me ask you this. Have you ever seen your wife dust the house? Has she ever dusted?
I don't. Yes, she has.
Now, when she dusts, does she go and get like, oh, I don't know, a dry paper towel and just sling it across a cabinet?
No.
Well, why not?
She takes an old Crown Royal bag and sprays like Pledge on it, and then will dust.
So you need a little liquid to clean it, right?
Right, right.
Now, you, for some reason, think that you don't need that. So I'm sure when you go, let's say you had to go do some landscaping around the house. Maybe you're going to go work, as old people your age say, in the yard.
Mm-hmm.
Go plant some flowers, going to go do some mulch.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe, I don't know, whatever those little evergreen gimmicks are around your house.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Now, when you come in, you got dirt on your hands.
Right.
I know you don't go wash it off in a sink. You just go get a paper towel.
No, I wash it off in the sink.
Now, why do you think your asshole doesn't need water, but your hands do and your goddamn dusty ass furniture does?
Well, dude, I use Cottonelle wipes, okay?
So there is a little moisture.
Right.
A little wetness.
Yes.
Now, when you get done with the Cottonelle wipes, do you
Yeah.
go back and do TP behind it? Just
No.
dry yourself out? You just walk around squishy, slippery.
Yes. I use many Cottonelle wipes.
Well, that is going to fuck. That's going to fuck up your septic system.
I don't have a septic system.
You live in goddamn Marietta. All
Yeah.
y'all is fucking septic.
No,
there.
listen, you think I'm from Gunnersville where everyone
Buddy,
has a septic tank?
I don't have a septic tank. I'm on city
Okay.
sewer.
Okay. So
Well,
am I. So am I. So it's we're arguing about sewer systems.
It's better than watching a Larry Zabisco, Eric Bischoff match. My point is, those Cottonelle wipes, they're going to cause you problems at times, and it might make you hashtag Swampy Butt Jones.
Okay.
The deal is, though, you should get one of these $200 attachments. Like, I don't know that you know this. Eric Bischoff has one. Bruce Pritchard has one. Dave Silva has one. The Gimmick Attorney has one. Cassio Kid has. Everybody I know, except you, has a wash. And you're over here saying, "Oh, bidets are for rich people." So anyway, I'm taking a private tour of Nintendo in my Raid Range Rover. They let me drive it right through that motherfucker.
Aren't these washlets or bidets? Can't they be dangerous?
Well, apparently they can take off 3 layers of your butthole skin. That's what we're talking about. Dangerous. What do you think? Are you a Red Ryder BB gun? You're a
listen.
You'll shoot your eye out with that
Okay.
bidet. Don't put your eye down there, you dumb motherfucker. You simple bitch.
Okay, let me finish this. All right. I don't want to scare anybody. All right.
Scare. I don't want to scare anybody. Oh my God. I don't want to scare anybody.
We have a friend of the show, okay. Who's a low life stooge,
Yeah.
and a terrible troll.
All right, it's Jeff Jones.
No, Adam
He's a
DeMoy.
low-life.
Adam
Oh.
DeMoy. Okay, I mean,
No
see,
friend of mine. Fuck him.
okay. Adams works in toilet paper. That's his job.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
He's a toilet paper distributor or
Hey, you
maker.
call shit, he works with it.
He
It's the
works-
same
okay,
thing.
yeah, okay. And he says, and of course he's only promoting his product, right?
Right.
He said, "No, man, you got to use toilet paper. You shoot water up your asshole. That you're asking for. you're asking for colon cancer."
Oh my God.
That's what he said.
Well, you-
Now, if he worked in bidets or washlets, then he'd probably say, "Don't want to use that toilet paper."
Buddy, I just looked up 8 ways to prevent colon cancer.
Okay.
Do you want to get number 1 is get screened? Yes.
Okay. All right.
Number 2 is maintain a healthy weight.
Okay.
Number 3 is don't smoke. Number 4 is be physically active. God damn it. Number 5 is limit alcohol. Motherfucker. I'm eat up with
Okay.
Number 6 is limit red meat. God damn it. Number 7, get enough calcium and vitamin D. Number 8, eat more grains and fiber. This don't say shit about bidets. Wait a minute. I Googled it and it said bidets, and that's colon cancer not linked to bidets.
All right.
My God.
All right.
Oh, Insider says this.
Okay.
The Suez Canal blockage could short supply toilet paper, but rectal surgeons say we should be using bidets anyway.
Wow. Rectal surgeons.
Charmin and all these brands have done a great job making us think toilet paper is hygienic. It is not. Gold Sea told Insider during ButtCon, an event hosted by Tushy.
Stop.
Dude, there is a fucking convention called ButtCon. Holy shit! It really happened.
We ought to have a booth.
I'm not even kidding.
Okay.
I'm gonna have fucking Silva throw this up right now on our video. Hopefully you're
Okay.
watching over on YouTube. This is unbelievable. There was a ButtCon. Oh, they had adult film stars there too
Oh, I bet.
at ButtCon.
Yeah. So, Ms. Shivani, your son just graduated from college. What's he going to be? A rectal surgeon? Okay. Let's talk about something else.
He's gonna call Thunder.
It's one and the same, buddy. Just trying to sew up the asshole that is WCW.
Silva, can you show us ButtCon, the website, the splash page? You don't believe this imagery.
Okay.
We missed it, Tony. It was Wednesday, August 21st.
ButtCon. I have a feeling Adam DeMoy was there.
You think he went to ButtCon?
Oh,
He goes, ButtCon is a convention where like-minded individuals gather to educate, celebrate, and gyrate everyone's greatest asset. Think Comic-Con, but with way more butts.
God, they got a picture of a peach
Yeah.
with water dripping off of it.
Look at this. This is a great website. Expect deeper conversations, fascinating talks, and uncommon experiences about butt health, butt fitness, and overall butt stuff with top doctors, experts, celebrities, and personalities. My God.
Oh, Lord.
You recognize her on the left?
No.
Hey, by the way, hover your mouse over the images, Silva. This is so great. Always listen to your mother. Do butthole exercises. All cake is worthy of a sitting.
This has to be a
One more.
This is a joke.
On the left. Go ahead. You want to read that one, Tony?
Anal orgasms are the key to a relaxing and peaceful lifestyle. Everyone should have one. This is a rib.
Oh,
Yeah, this whole thing's a fucking rib.
Do Mickey right there. Do Mickey right there.
Okay. We are looking to revolutionize the way Americans poop.
This is the greatest shit of all time. ButtCon.
Okay.
Fuck StarCast. I'm taking ButtCon to Australia.
This is a rib. God
No, it's
We
not a
felt
rib.
Meanwhile, Eric Bischoff in the ring with Larry Zbyszko right now. We are, by the way, allegedly, supposedly, a wrestling podcast.
Buddy, this is a clip show. We're watching a clip show.
We just absolutely just kind of went into the asshole spear.
The asshole spear.
Mm-hmm.
Mm. Do you remember the funny piece of shit that happened in this match?
I do not, but I can see Eric Bischoff's back is all marked up here. So what was the funny thing that happened here?
So he's got on these kickboxing shoes, right?
Right. Okay.
So he's going to get a foreign object and load it up in his kickboxing shoe.
Okay.
And then go to kick Larry Zbyszko in the head with this loaded kickboxing shoe.
And the gimmick fell out.
The gimmick flies out into the crowd.
And was it like a taped up thing?
It was a mint, unopened Mario, Super Mario World. Belonged in the Nintendo Hall of Fame. Didn't make it. Went into the crowd instead.
Oh, here comes the gimmick.
Yep. Let's track it.
It's like is that a steel plate? Looks like some sort of metal or steel. Loading up the boot of Bischoff.
And
Here we go.
Bret Hart in confrontation with Larry Zbyszko. The whole time. Oh, brother, it's shut.
As you see, Brad even watched it fly out.
The impact, the blow.
Even Dusty said, "Brother, it's shot right."
Zbyszko is out.
Bischoff celebrate. Bret Hart looking over the celebration. 7.5.
Now,
Talking about that $1 million contract again.
well, I'll tell you what, Bret Hart. Yes!
Yeah!
How about that? Yeah, there you go. There you go, Bret
That
Hart.
answered your question.
Yes, there you go. Bret Hart, tradition, hit him too. There you go.
Not been a good night for Scott Hall, has it?
Yeah,
Bret Hart with history.
yes. I like it. I like it.
Yeah! He's going to put him in the sharpshooter.
He's hooked it down, deep finger fairway look.
And look at Scott Hall tap out.
Yeah. Wow. He's got.
So what do you think?
Well, I like all this. The gimmick flying out was hilarious. My only thought of all this as this going on is that I don't know if you liked. Look at this, going to choke Eric out. I don't know if you liked him or not, but I thought Dusty was a great commentator.
Oh, he was fantastic.
It was just so entertaining. It was so right putting him on. I don't know why we stopped using him. Do you know? I mean, we had, think about the different broadcast teams we had through the years.
Yeah.
I mean, people ask me, hey, who was your favorite one to work with? Well, sometimes I got to think about how many I worked with.
It's a lot.
Yeah, I work with Gordon Soley. I work with Dutch Mantell. I work with Kevin Sullivan. I work with Tully Blanchard. I work with Ventura, Heenan, Tenay, Lee Marshall, Dusty. My God, just Gorilla Monsoon. It's just hard to keep it. So we had so many broadcast teams, but the point is, I don't know why we removed Dusty from our broadcast team.
Yeah.
I thought me and Dusty and Heenan were tremendous. I loved that team. I loved working with Jesse Ventura. You know, you go back and you watch wrestling from back in this era, and even let's say the 80s, right?
Right.
To me, you can't get any better than Jesse Ventura and Vince McMahon on Saturday Night's Main Event.
Right.
I think that's the best team. I think that show and those two are the best team ever. I do. As far as announcers, Larry was a great announcer. My God.
Larry here is going to be talking to Mike Tenay. They've made it official now. It's sold out in a couple of weeks. He's going to be in the ring with Scott Hall. And Larry's a decent little promo. Let's take a listen.
Yeah.
We've all been waiting for your bout with Scott Hall.
You know, the moment of truth for Mr. Hall is rapidly approaching. Can he or can he not, after 10 years of pain and sweat, get in the ring and beat the master of human chess at his own game? You know, I remember Scott Hall when he started. Young, big-looking athlete, impressed the promoters so much they give him title shots at the heavyweight championship of the world, which was held by yours truly. And Scott Hall couldn't beat me. And I tortured the kid. And I made him cry in the ring. And I humiliated him worldwide. And he got frustrated. And I could understand why the man hates my guts. But the reality of the situation is, Mr. Hall, I took you to the crossroads of greatness, and you chose the easy way out. And now, instead of walking to this ring 10 years later with the heavyweight championship of the world in your hand with your head up high, you're sitting in a first-class seat on the ship of fools heading straight to Larry Land. Let me say, do not underestimate me, Mr. Hall. I can get up any day of the week, bench press 405 pounds, drive to the golf course, shoot a 73, and still rub your face in the mat from one post to the other. I've retired men that make you look like Mother Teresa.
I've wrestled in front of the royalty of Japan, the President of the United States, the Emperors of Japan, to the Kings of Samoa underneath the Southern Cross while Scott Hall was sitting in some grade school picking his nose. I changed wrestling history in August 1980, and it sold out. I'm going to change the new world order for life.
Larry, everyone associated with World Championship Wrestling, firmly behind you. We're coming back with more exciting action, the debut of Thunder on TBS.
Tony, they're going to take a break, and I think we should too. We'll hit it here at 28:15. There it is. And we're going to take a timeout right now to talk about, something that everybody's making, New Year's resolutions. And one of those resolutions might be to travel more or spend more time with family. Why don't we do both? With our friends at Camper Max, specializing in max discounted pricing on travel trailers and fifth wheel RVs delivered anywhere in the lower 48. That's right. From your office, your cell phone, or your couch, you can click or call and find out how easy it is to start enjoying the RVing lifestyle. And how easy is it? The Camper Max discount will fit any budget, offering easy financing with extended terms. It's just too easy. Visit campermax.com, CAMPERMAXX.com. There's 2 X's in campermax.com. Or give them a shout, 256-320-7033, home of the Max discount. By the way, if you're looking to purchase a motorhome, hang in there. My buddy Rod is working on that now. I've known Rod Wagner and his group for a long, long time. Personal friends of my family. They're going to take care of your family. Yes, they're in Alabama, but they'll ship it anywhere in the lower 48. What Rod understands is affordability. Rod understands this is going to come down to how much do you want to put down? What do you want your monthly payment at? When would you like it delivered? He's going to make it that easy. Check it out right now, campermax.com, CAMPERMAXX.com. Get out there, travel a little bit in 2023. Spend more time with the family. Make some memories. Slow down. Smell the roses. All that jazz. Campermax.com. Appreciate their support and hope you guys will check them out. Get back to WCW Thunder here. I'm at 128.15 in 3, 2, 1, play. Tony, that was a pretty good promo from Larry Zbyszko.
Yeah.
And I like the way he always references his big win over Bruno San, or his big match at Shea Stadium with Bruno Sammartino, August of 1980. Now he's going to do it again here.
Yeah, that's his real big. Yeah, he's real big claim to fame. And buddy, it was a hell of an angle.
Oh,
You can go back and watch that, how it was done. That was how to do a wrestling angle. That whole thing.
Yes.
Yeah. So I get it. And now, who the hell are they beating here now?
This is Ray Traylor. This is a clip from September.
Okay. All right.
And they kick Ray out of the NWO and they write Ray who? And this is all to set up Scott Hall versus Ray Traylor here on the very first Thunder. I mean, I feel like we're sort of saying the same thing over and over, but a lot of clips on this show, Tony. A lot of clips.
Clipomania.
I mean, this is not the way you debut a new show.
No, so we've had on this show.
Yeah.
The matches that we've had on this show are the Macho Man and Chris Adams, right?
Yep.
We had
the Japanese guys.
We had Louis Spicoli against Rick the Model Martel. See, there you go. Rick Martel.
Yep.
And is that about Chris Jericho and Ric Flair?
Yep.
Mongo and Goldberg.
Right. Yep. So, I mean, there's a lot of matches on here, but they're all short matches and
right.
A lot of clips.
Yeah.
But here comes one of the main eventers, in my opinion, right now.
Of all time.
Gone way too soon. The epitome of cool.
Mm-hmm.
Here he comes, Scott Hall. It's still hard to believe he's not here with us, too.
Yeah. I look at guys like Scott Hall and Roddy Piper, Dusty Rhodes, real big stars in the business who we wish we're still the Macho Man Randy Savage. I know I'm going to miss some.
Yeah.
But I look at these guys who are just legendary stars in the business, and I think selfishly how fortunate I was to be able to work with these guys in my career. Really. I mean, if you think of some of the great names in wrestling, I work with a lot of them, man.
Yeah.
How lucky am I? And we're talking about names that are going to hang around with us for the rest of wrestling history.
Yes.
10 years, 30 years from now, when I'm really too old to do this, which could be 2 years from now.
Shut up.
These names are going to still be around as great wrestlers, great stars. And a lot of it, of course, is thanks to video and thanks to, what we got now. I mean, listen, if we could think if Crockett would have retained all their videos.
Oh my gosh, are you kidding?
Yeah. Think of what stars, how big of stars Blackjack Mulligan would have been.
Right.
Or Wahoo McDaniel. Or Rufus R. Freight Train Jones. Guys who, and that all was lost. And they're not the only ones, I guess, who lost their stuff, right?
Right.
Some of the old Florida stuff's gone, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. God, it's just, so these guys were fortunate to be able to wrestle in an era where all their stuff has been retained. But so it makes them bigger stars, but rightfully so, man. Scott Hall was something else. And again, we're going to see it here. One of the great working punches of all time, I contend, was Scott Hall.
Yes.
Yeah. Just, I saw him, and I'll bring up the story again. I saw him in Albany, and this was last year at an autograph signing that I went to right after Full Gear. I went from Minneapolis to Albany, and I saw him. He said, "Hey, Count Schiavone." He said, "Congratulations, you're looking good, doing great stuff on TV." I said, "Thanks, Scott. You doing all right?" He went, "Yeah." And I went over to my table, sat down, and started signing. Wanted to see him afterwards because we all had long lines, and he was gone. And then, of course, then he passed away. So.
It's hard to believe, man. March of last year.
Yeah.
Just 10 months removed.
Uh-huh.
Whenever I think of Scott Hall, I think most of us probably also think of Kevin Nash.
Yeah, of course.
I think about what a tough year last year was for Kevin between losing Scott Hall, his lifelong best friend, and his son.
Yeah.
It's just awful.
Yeah.
Hate that for Kevin.
Yeah. Lost Ray Traylor too soon as well.
Yeah, man.
Big Boss Man was a big star at one time. No
doubt about it, dude. When did he die? 2004? Yeah, September of 2004. Again, man, this is a guy who's gone at 41 years old.
Isn't that something? Jesus.
41.
And you know what? He died of a heart attack, didn't he? I believe, from what I heard. I mean, there's not all wrestlers, died because of what happened to him in the ring. Brad Armstrong died because of sleep apnea.
Mm-hmm.
But if they live long enough, all wrestlers, I believe, I may be wrong, their bodies are going to pay for all of what they've done to themselves. Hulk Hogan's a great example, right?
Yeah.
Mick Foley's another great example. That they have trouble getting around because of the crazy bumps they took when they were in the ring. And I can only imagine what's going to happen to the kids now, because the bumps now are crazier. The dives, off the top rope moonsaults, going through tables, the stuff they do now. We talk about the bump card, right?
Yeah.
I would think bump cards now are much smaller than they used to be. I don't know. The flip side of that is that what's good now about what is going on is that we have a medical team on staff.
Yes.
Not only Dr. Sampson, but we have 3 people that work with Dr. Sampson that basically help adjust and massage, and they're more trainers than they are medical personnel.
Right.
So that's going to help the kids. It really is. Oh, Scott's going to do the job here? Yes. How about that?
Ball is down thanks to the living legend, and Ryan Trailer secures a big win for WCW. Scott Hall.
What great leaders for WCW, both Scott Hall and Randy Savage were.
Yeah.
Putting over Chris Adams and Ray Traylor here.
Right, exactly. I brought up Jericho being a leader. I think that big stars putting over, doing the job to further a story is great leadership.
Shows that they're unselfish.
Yes.
Willing to put the best interests of the company ahead of their own. Hey, I wanted to show you something, Tony, since we were talking about a guy who we both really respect his career and his contributions, but gone way, way too soon. Have you seen the Big Boss Man's? Well, let's just show it. I had Dave Silva pull it up. We've got his gravesite here, and you can actually see on the left-hand side right there, Tony. That's the Big Boss Man signature logo. What a crazy thing to think about. This is a guy who's gone so early, but it was such a big deal to him and his family. I mean, it's signed right there on the left, Big Boss Man, with the same way you would see on Saturday Night's Main Event or whatever. And of course, right there it says, pretty iconic little saying. And in the end, it's not the years in your life that count, it's the life in your years. A quote from Abraham Lincoln. Just 41, dude. Gone way, way too soon.
Those are his sunglasses, I guess, over there.
Well, some fan left some sunglasses that reminded him of the Big Boss Man. You even see the action figure tucked underneath there as well.
Yeah,
so,
right. This has got to be somewhere in Georgia. I guess Dallas, maybe.
Yeah, it's in Georgia.
Yeah.
So we got another match here on the program, and this one you would think would have been another prime candidate to start the show, maybe in more Nitro style fashion. Ultimo Dragon versus Juventud Guerrera. Ultimo Dragon at this point is the cruiserweight champ, and you got 2 really, really capable performers here. They're going to go out and put on a heck of a match, or so we hope.
Yeah.
Meltzer would say most of the wrestling on the first Thunder show ranged from poor to average, with Juventud Guerrera, as expected, capturing the cruiserweight title from Ultimo Dragon in 4 minutes and 20 seconds of a good but not great match.
Well, you can't have a great match in 4 minutes and 20 seconds.
No.
You can't really tell a story. But the fact that he even said it was, good to average?
Yeah.
Yeah. So tells you a lot about the performers in the ring, that they can do it.
Well, we got a few minutes to kill here. 4 minutes and 20 seconds. We know we're going to see a title switch. Not going to be much we can make fun of or talk smack about Juventud and Ultimo. They're going to do what they do, but just unfortunately not given enough time because, we had to show all these goddamn clips. We actually did something kind of new this week, Tony.
We did?
Well, by we, I mean Dave Silva. Dave Silva has taken to YouTube, which, by the way, if you guys have not been watching our show on YouTube, you're really missing out. It's WHW on YouTube.com. That's WHW on YouTube.com. You see the funny Tony Atlas stuff and all the visual aids that we've done. I got so much great feedback about our Marty Jannetty segment last week. It's one thing to hear it. It's another thing to see it. WHW on YouTube.com. Anyway, Silva's spending more time on our YouTube these days. So he starts scouring our YouTube channel and he found some comments that he wants to show us. Now, I must admit, I knew we were going to show the group chat. I sent it to him. I knew we were going to show the Tony Atlas thing. I sent it to him. But I have no idea what these comments say. So you and I are going to see these YouTube comments for the very first time. Hey, and if we have fun with them, we'll do this and make it a regular part of the show.
Okay.
To get in on the fun, cruise on over, WHW on YouTube.com. Silva, what's our first YouTube comment? I disagree with Tony. Disco was over. This is Nostalgia Man.
Yeah. Well, everybody has their opinion, and many of them are wrong.
Well, there you go. Well said. Well said. When will you bring back Tony Reed's rap? Hopefully he can sing Wax-A-Millions. Wax-A-Millions?
Yeah, Wax-A-Millions.
I ain't got no panties on. That's the comeback for this segment.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know that I know that song. Let me just throw that in the Google machine. I ain't got no panties on. Oh, there it is. Okay.
Okay.
Well, I know you're not going to.
No, I'm not.
Pull them panties off.
Okay.
I ain't got no panties on.
That's nice.
Give me a scotch on the rocks. It's going to have me hollering out my socks.
Yeah.
And let's be getting out the car on the way to the bar. And they be ordering shots. We got this rap game on lock. I spit hot shit off the top. It's going to be a throwdown, but I won't stop. Never. If it ain't hot, we put it down till we open up shop. Yeah. That's really not the best one.
Apparently one of the great songs of all time in modern. Huh? How long did it take them to put those lyrics?
Well, I'll tell you this, it does make me want to do a t-shirt that says I ain't got no panties on. I think that'd be a fun shirt. I ain't got no panties on.
That'd be cool.
Can you imagine, like, yeah, that actually would work.
God almighty.
What?
So, sometimes I listen to you and I think, what have I got myself into?
Well, buddy, I didn't suggest that song. We just read a YouTube comment.
Any other comments, or was that it? Oh my God!
Your turn, Tony.
I freely admit that before WHW, I thought Tony was a complete D-bag. I thought
I nailed it.
Thanks, Christopher. I thought he didn't actually like or respect wrestling because of how awful he was during those last few years of WCW, and he never showed any personality. Now, WHW is the show I most love, and it's 100% because Tony. He is just a nice fucking dude, flat out. So glad he got the comeback he deserved. I had him pegged completely wrong. Hope he's around for a long fucking time. Thanks, Christopher.
See? It's not all bad.
Yeah, well, I think I've been able to, via the show exactly who I really am.
Yes.
Yeah, so. Show that I love wrestling. But I go back to the same thing, I got a comment. I got a text, and I didn't get to see him in Portland, and it pisses me off to no end. But I got a text from our good friend Jim Valley.
Oh, great guy.
Yeah. Who I credit you and Jim Valley, you most of all, of course, but I credit you and Jim Valley for help reboot my career. And Jim sent me a text after we did match 6, which I guess was in Denver for the World Trios title.
Yep.
And it was a great match. And Jim Valley said to me, he said, you were on fire with your commentary in that match. And my response to him was, thanks, Jim, but my commentary has always just only been as good as what you see in the ring. And I really believe that. I believe that my commentary sucked for 2 reasons back in the waning WCW days. Because number 1, I was checked out, but number 2, the action was bad.
All right, so guys, I wasn't good at my job because number 1, I didn't care,
and number 2,
like you don't need a number 2. I was checked out.
Okay,
that's the reason it sucked.
Okay, but anyway, I appreciate those comments. I really do, and yeah, I saw this headline that's out there that when I first came back, because I do, and I really do appreciate it. I do get a very good reception at arenas when I walk out. And the other night when we were in Seattle, we promoted 4:00 matches start, and we didn't really start matches till 4:15.
Right.
So I walked out and walked around ringside, saying hello to people. As far as I could get, didn't get all the way around. But anyway, I saw I saw a headline that Tony Schiavone saved his reputation when he came back to wrestling. And I first saw that and I thought, what reputation are you talking about? What, reputation? I always thought my reputation was as a pretty good guy, a good friend, and a good father. And so that word reputation was like, it really pissed me off. So,
People decided that you hated wrestling, Tony.
yeah.
And that you were bitter and yada, yada, yada.
That was a lie.
Yeah.
That was a lie that was perpetrated. Lie that was perpetrated by people online and Bobby Heenan. It was a lie.
Gonna tell the joke now?
No.
We got one more YouTube comment I want you to
Okay.
read. Then we'll get to this Bret Hart program.
All right. I just want to say that no pay-per-view in history, this is from TV's Mr. Neal. I want to say that no pay-per-view in history has made me more angry. It made everybody involved look terrible. It made Sting look weak, and they couldn't win without controversy. It made the announce team look like liars for trying to sell to the fans on a fast count. It made Bret Hart look like an idiot for jumping to the ring and ending after being screwed in his last month. You know what, TV's Mr. Neal, you are right. You are right 100%.
And now, the big confrontation we've been waiting on. I can't wait to hear your commentary on what you think of the boots Bret Hart's wearing and that he's got his jeans tucked into him. What do you think of those boots?
Yeah.
Let's take a listen.
Let me see. You're Bret Hart. I'm the Nature Boy. We're going to wrestle the 24th of this month, and we're going to find out. No, whoa, easy. Let me talk to him. Ease up here. Since we spoke last week, I got to tell you, Bret, 1,000 people, if there's been one, have said to me, get him to say that little phrase he says one more time with you in the ring. It's that good. They want to hear you say that again. Keep in mind, take every wrestler you've known in your illustrious career, put them all over here, put me right here, and say that little saying about yesterday and come around the mountain again, whatever it is, with me standing here. I got to hear it, and they want to hear it. I'm going to say it one more time, and I'm going to prove it one more time. You're going to find out that I'm the best there is, the best there was, and the best there ever will be. And I'll prove it. You know, in 25 years, some people have said some pretty stupid things to me, but that's the damnedest thing I ever heard anybody say. You are telling me you realize you were 14 years old on the front row of the box of popcorn going, oh my God, that's the Nature Boy. I want to be just like him the first time you saw me. You come from a great family of wrestlers, a great heritage, great amateur, everything you've accomplished 5 times. You've been the World Wrestling Federation champion. God bless you. Pal, when you were up there, I was wrestling Brody in Singapore, and the natives were restless for 1 hour. I was in Tokyo. I was in St. Louis. Ask Hogan. How about St. Louis? I have been around the world 13 times, and I resent you telling me that you're better than him gone yesterday, today, especially me. with all due respect, to be the man, I guess I'll have to beat the man.
Oh boy. Uh-oh.
You know what you're going to find out? You're going to find out on the 24th that it ain't just being the man, brother. It's staying the man. Woo!
January 24th, it's sold out. We'll find out who the best there is in professional wrestling. We're back with more live action on Thunder on the Superstation TBS.
Tony, I want to talk about that promo, but before we do, we need to take a timeout. I'm going to hit it at 18 here. 151.18. There it is. We're taking a timeout right now because we know that everybody in the ring is discussing who the best in the world is. Well, let me tell you what is not up for debate. The best crab cakes in the world are at jimmysfamousseafood.com. Man, I love this stuff. I can't brag about it enough. If you're looking for the ultimate gift, the ultimate special occasion, the ultimate way to cater a party, maybe you got a big NFL playoff game coming up, maybe there's a special occasion, maybe you got Valentine's Day around the corner, you want to cook for the wife, you want to wow some people, you go to jimmysfamousseafood.com. Now listen, I know what you're thinking. Hey, isn't that in Baltimore? Yeah, baby. But they ship nationwide. You can get free 2-day nationwide shipping on orders over $125. When you use the promo code WHW, they got the best crab cakes in the world. They got the best soups, the best chowders, the best oysters, the signature steaks, plus the desserts and the gluten-free items. I got on here a few weeks ago with Jim Ross, and I was harping on how great the crab cakes were. And he was damn right indignant. What about the soups? What about the soups? Both him and Bruce had crab soup over the holidays, and it was straight from Jimmy's. Now, a friend of ours might look around and say, what's causing all this? Well, it's over 40 years in business, guys. It's a family-owned business. They've been all over TV. If you've ever watched any of those cooking shows or the cooking channels, the food networks and what have you, you've seen them out there with Guy Fieri and Bobby Flay and on and on and on. But now they can deliver it right to your door. The famous gift box has 4 of the world's best colossal Maryland crab cakes, 2 crab soups, a crab dip, seafood seasoning, and their signature base sauce. Maybe it's time to get a little football action going. How about a tailgate bundle? 2 pounds of wings, a full rack of ribs, a pint of crab dip, and the crab cake mix.
Wow.
Maybe my favorite is create your own package. Whatever you're looking for, jimmysfamousseafood.com has it. Everything's good. I mean, everything. The best prime rib I ever had in my life came from Jimmy's Famous Seafood. Try it for yourself. You're going to love it. Use that promo code WHW, and you're going to get free nationwide shipping. It's hard to beat free, Tony.
This Jimmy's Famous Seafood is so wonderful. Realistically, Lois and I have considered and talked about going up, bringing everybody up and going up to Baltimore from Atlanta just to have dinner there.
Dude, it's real.
Just to have dinner there. And on the outside where they have like an outside place, as most restaurants do.
Yeah, a patio.
We brought the dogs.
Yeah.
And hung out outside there one time. So it's very family friendly. John's just a great guy. It's
the best.
It is the best restaurant in America.
No doubt about that to me.
It's the best restaurant in America. And I say that not because they sponsor. I've been saying that a long, long, long time. People who know me say that. So
check it out, boys and girls. See what all the fuss is about. No fooling. I'm going to Baltimore at least twice this year. I'm going to hang out and see some sports, see some wrestling, play some cards at a casino nearby. But I'm eating all of my meals, lunch and dinner, at Jimmy's Famous Seafood. And by the way, they don't talk about it and they don't advertise it. But if you ever find yourself in that area and you're looking for a little late night fun, drinking with your buddies, playing a little grab ass, Jimmy's has got that too. Got something for everybody. Go see what all the fuss is about. Get it delivered directly to your door. jimmysfamousseafood.com. The promo code is WHW. And Tony, I want to talk about this promo, so let's get back to it here. We're watching Thunder. We're at 151.18. In 3, 2, 1, play. What do you think of that promo? We saw Bret Hart come out and do his thing. We saw Rick do his thing.
I like
Listen, it wasn't scripted, but it felt real, and it was a goosebump moment. Like, I got goosebumps just during the promo.
It was the best moment of this entire show.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. It was, I mean, when he talks about Brody in Singapore and wrestling in Tokyo, and he even brought up that you say you're better than the guys who are no longer here.
Yeah.
And he was referring to like Brody and guys who had passed on.
Yeah.
It was very, very well done.
Coming up next, a guy you wouldn't want to fuck with.
Yeah.
Scott Norton.
Another one, yeah.
With that haircut.
Yeah.
Like, if you have that haircut, you're a badass.
Yeah, right, because everyone would look at that and think, oh, that's a shitty haircut, but no one would tell you that.
Well, you look at a haircut like that and you say to yourself, that guy needs his ass kicked. But then you take a look at the rest of him and you're like, ain't going to be me.
Yes, no.
I have to wait for another day.
Yeah. Do you think that Ric Flair interview made Bret Hart look bad?
You mean in terms of to the audience?
Just that the way Flair talked, he was so good at what he said there. And he brought up Brody's name and he brought up going around the world 3 times or whatever. It almost as if you're listening to that and you're looking at Bret Hart thinking, does Bret Hart really think he's the best in the world?
Right.
I don't know. I mean, and as we found out through the years, even leading up to this, that Bret Hart, yes, is one of the best wrestlers ever.
Yes.
No doubt. But I just think that you look at that and you think of that, Bret Hart's out of his mind. He's not as good as Flair. I don't know. I don't know. There was something about that when Flair Flair's promo was so good.
Yes. It felt real.
It felt real that it made you want to say, yeah, Jesus, Flair's right. What is Bret thinking about? So tell me, because obviously I don't remember, on the 24th it sold out. Are we doing that show?
Yeah, we can. I don't know. I don't know.
I don't know if we want to. Anyway, there's just so much shitty WCW that a man can take in 1 year.
Oh Lord.
Okay, so I just wondered how good that match was.
Well, do you want to guess who won? Probably no surprise, right?
No, I don't know.
Bret Hart won by submission.
Okay. With the all right.
Sharpshooter, 18 minutes and 6 seconds in.
Okay.
The rest of that show was actually pretty decent. We start with a 8-man lucha match. Then we got Benoit and Raven in a Ravens rules match. Jericho and Mysterio for the cruiserweight. Booker T and Rick Martel right around the same time he decided to take him out for good. Larry Zbyszko and Scott Hall. Ray Traylor and the Steiner brothers taking on Conan, Scott Norton, and Buff Bagwell. Kevin Nash taking on the Giant, Bret Hart, and Ric Flair. And then the main event, believe it or not, even though it's only 7 minutes and 7 seconds, Lex Luger and the Macho Man. Man, Lex Luger's getting a big push here.
Yeah.
Let's not forget, he's the guy who actually beat Hulk Hogan first. Savage comes out and immediately he dumps him on him. That was a cool little segment. I enjoyed that.
That was cool. With the exception of Luger with that forearm shot, completely missed it on Scott Norton. That's okay.
Let's take a listen to you.
It's not only the biggest night in WCW history, but the most controversial talked about 3 count ever, Brain.
Well, there's no doubt in my mind that Nick Patrick can count to 10 in 3 seconds. And there's also no doubt in my mind, your mind, and everyone watching around the world that Sting is the heavyweight champion of the world.
Now, what we're going to see is some tape that I know Hollywood Hulk Hogan and Eric Bischoff, we're going to hope would admonish them, would show that Hogan really won. Well, they say that a picture is worth 1,000 words, and folks, you're going to see the unabread Webster's dictionary worth of words that describe these pictures.
Unprecedented. This close to Starrcade, we present to you Sting and Hollywood Hogan in the biggest match ever.
Jesus.
Can you believe that you're giving away your biggest pay-per-view? You're just showing it. Now, night after Starrcade, you had a rematch that went off the air beforehand. So it's like, haha, if you were a sucker and paid us money last night, here's the match for free.
Yeah.
And now, 10 days later, you're like, oh no, here's actual clips of the match of what you. maybe foolishly paid for.
Yeah, but I can't believe that we are trying to present, again, that Nick Patrick had a fast count.
Yes.
When, in fact, he did not.
Correct.
But we're having to sell the fact that we all know he did. When the world knows he did, and we all know he did not.
Yes.
So, Mike, I don't remember. Are we going to show this again? Are we going to show the 3 count again? And if we are, how are we going to sit there as announcers and try to present that it was a fast count when it wasn't? This was the most fucked up thing that WCW ever did.
Yeah, we agree.
This one thing was the most fucked up thing WCW ever did. And there's no way that Eric or Hogan or Jesus. I can't believe we're going to show it again.
So here comes the leg drop.
Big leg drop.
Let's show it.
1, 2, 3. Bret Hart has come out.
It's not a fast count.
Not a fast count.
No. But
why would they even show it?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Brother.
What was to be.
Yeah.
It's even discussed, Meltzer would write, what we believe is going to happen is they're going to hold a tournament with all the top draws, like Flair, Piper, Hall, Nash, Savage, Hart, etc.
Yeah.
Matches every Monday and Wednesday, and the winner becoming a top contender, while the title itself will be decided in a Hogan versus Sting match on February 22nd at the Cow Palace at Super Brawl.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. This sucked.
It does.
Yeah.
And the thing is, it's like it was so easy to just get right, just have him beat him quick.
Yeah. 1, 2, 3. Bum, bum, bum. Fast count. But it wasn't.
Just beat him up. I mean, seriously, just beat him up, hit a couple stinger splashes, put him in the Scorpion Death Drop. I would have liked to have seen a pin rather than a submission, but whatever.
Right.
By the way, you've ruined submissions forever for me now.
Really?
You personally.
And how did I do that, Conrad?
Well, because you came on this program and you hit us with logic and facts. And I don't like that when you make logical arguments that make me change my mind, but you did.
Yeah. Okay.
And you said there's more drama in a 3 count rather than a submission.
Well, there is.
Fans are conditioned to know 1, 2. It becomes the edge of your seat moment.
Yeah, that's right.
And then when it hits, now we pop. And then with a submission, you just kind of got to take the guy's word for it most of the time.
Right.
Oh yeah, he said he gave up. But it doesn't build, and then explode. No, and when I talked about that with Nick Patrick and asked if he thought this should have been something other than the Scorpion, if it should have been the Death Drop instead of the sharpshooter or what have you. And he goes, no, there's a lot of drama in submissions. You just got to know how to do it. And I'm like, yeah, well, he didn't do it. You see. The idea being, can he get the ropes? Can he get the ropes? And he drag him back to the middle. I know that exists, but I'm just saying that is not what we did here.
Yeah. Jesus Christ. Are they going to go back to us and for us try to sell the 3 count again?
Yes.
And when we come back, we'll show you what happened the very next night in Baltimore Nitro. And off the air. Pandemonium from Baltimore. The exclusive memorable four-scene footage next on Thunder.
Man, we're just one clip after another. Tony, let's take a break. Our last one, I'm going to do it at 30. So it's 2 hours and 30 seconds. And this time out is something that's near and dear to me. I'm talking about SaveWithConrad.com. You guys know every week I like to come on here and cut up and talk a lot of trash with you and poke fun at Tony and all that jazz. But this is Royal Rumble season. And for a lot of us, January means something else. Ugh, I got to pay for all that holiday spending. What if you got to throw 2 house payments over the top rope? That's what we can help you do at SaveWithConrad.com. We'll also help you get rid of all that credit card debt. I read a study recently that said that it takes most families about 6 months to finish paying off Christmas. Not at SaveWithConrad.com. And we can get you lower monthly payments. That's right. We're routinely helping our podcast listeners save $5, $6, $7, even $800 a month. You don't need perfect credit or money out of your pocket to do this. But here's the reality, folks. Your house all of a sudden is worth more than ever. But if you're finding yourself saying, well, it feels like I have less money than ever, problem solved. SaveWithConrad.com. By the way, don't just take my word for it. Check out our reviews anytime you'd like. ConradReviews.com. You'll see there we have an A+ rating with the BBB, and we've got, well over 1,000 reviews, averaging 4.72 stars. Here's one. 5 stars from Chastity. She says, easy to work with. Very helpful in guiding us through the process. Would definitely recommend. Here's another one from North Carolina. This is Jeffrey. Everyone was very helpful, especially Diane. It was a great experience, even for someone with less than perfect credit. 100% recommend. Here's another from Shane S. 5 stars. Larry and his team were exceptional to work with. We had a unique financial situation, making it very difficult for us to find a mortgage company to work with us. Larry and his team took time to listen to us, understood the situation, and made it happen. They even had someone come to our home to work around our crazy schedule. I highly recommend Larry and his team. Folks, if you are having more month at the end of the money, SaveWithConrad.com can help. And here's the great thing about doing business with First Family Mortgage, if I do say so myself. We don't say no. We say not yet, but here's how. So if you're concerned, I got this happening, I had this happen, I'm not sure what to do, the first call should be to us. We're going to get you a plan of how to figure out where you are right now and where you want to be, and then we'll work backwards to help you achieve those goals. Whether it's paying your house off faster, getting a lower monthly payment, getting the cash you need for a remodel, skipping your next 2 house payments, or maybe just buying your very first house or your next house. Maybe you're in a house right now, but it's time to move out and move up, but you don't really know what to do. Man, we can help you connect all the dots at SaveWithConrad.com. NMLS number 65084, equal housing lender. Oh, and I also want to mention, we are the home of the 7-year guarantee. If your needs change at any time in the next 7 years, we'll refinance you again without charging a whole new set of all brand new closing costs. Meaning, we're going to get rid of your origination charge. That's how we get paid. We're saying we want to be your mortgage advisor for life, and we want to take care of you. So if the rates go down, the rates go up, you need to move, your needs change, whatever, man, we got you. 7-year guarantee at SaveWithConrad.com. So Tony, with that in mind, let's get back to it, man. I'm at 2 hours and 30 seconds. And before we press play, I want to remind everybody, we just saw a clip from Starrcade 97 the night after when we were in Baltimore doing Nitro, which is the show we watched last week on the program. We went off the air after a stinger splash. We gotta go. And now we're going to tease that we're going to see the rest of that footage. Once again, Thunder, aka the clip show. In 3, 2, 1, play.
Thunder here on TBS, our debut program. You've now seen the controversial 3 count from Starrcade, but it didn't stop there. We went on to the very next night on WCW Monday Nitro Live in Baltimore, Lee.
Tony and Brain, we talked about this perhaps being the most exciting, maybe the most crucial 48 hours in the history of professional wrestling. It started with Starrcade in Washington, D.C. Then just up the Chesapeake in Baltimore, Maryland, the very next day. Hogan wanted a rematch. Sting said, all right, bring it to me. And that's where they met, in the Baltimore Arena, a rematch 24 hours later, Brain.
And you saw J.J. Dillon come out here earlier. He says there's going to be fines. There's going to be suspensions. Already he's fined a couple of people. Because of what happened in Baltimore and the near riot and this pandemonium, I believe that WCW is going to crack down. They're going to crack down hard on a lot of people. And I believe a lot of people need to be cracked down. I think a lot of people should be put in their place or out of here.
Well, I really don't agree with that. I think WCW should be given the benefit of a doubt. But fans, this is the most talked about footage that you've never seen before. After we went off the air in Baltimore, Monday on Nitro, the tape machines were rolling, and here's what happened. Let's take you to the footage.
Tony, 2 things. First of all, I want to ask, in your opinion, did Bobby the Brain Heenan sound a little slurred there?
No.
Okay. Nice to see Bug making an appearance here on the show.
Yeah, not at all. I don't know if I've said this many times, but my parents drank a lot,
Okay.
a lot. Okay. So I can tell when someone's drinking.
I got you.
You can't fool you. Really, I'm serious. And ask Lois this. You can't fool me. I don't know if you remember. There was an announcer, a college announcer. I'm not going to say his name. Not going to say the school. That had to give up his job because of drinking.
Yeah.
And I was at an event one time that we were working. Okay, here comes the finish we didn't see.
You're saying Pat O'Brien, but you don't want to say his name.
No, it's not Pat O'Brien.
Okay.
Okay. And I saw him from a distance. And I said, he was talking to someone. And I told my friend, I said, he's been drinking.
Mm.
And my friend who was talking to him said, you're right. And I saw it from a distance. So what I'm saying is I can see, I can just tell when someone's been drinking. I can. And Heenan was not drinking that night. When Heenan was drinking, I knew it every time. And he did drink a number of times during, for the show. The most famous being in Sturgis. Okay, so what we got? Nick Patrick in here. Hogan.
Yeah, so the second referee. The crowd popped big for Hogan.
And Nick Patrick right in the midst of it again.
And that's where Nick Patrick starts calling for the championship belt.
Look at the police running in.
To give it back to Hollywood Hulk Hogan.
We all thought it was over. We thought in a mere 24 hours, Hogan had regained the title. But Nick Patrick goes down. Deservedly, I might add. And the fight was not yet over.
Sting is not done with Hogan yet.
Randy Anderson, the referee aside, trying to regain his composure. Very tough to do, certainly in the midst of that splash. A titanic battle will go down as an event never forgotten. Hogan right now is calling for the troops.
You can hear him yelling, help me, help me. There's your ex-heavyweight champion of the world.
Well, we all thought at that time, though, guys, that he was still the world champ. And now Randy Anderson is back into it. Randy Anderson thinks, rightfully so, the match should continue. He is the referee of record, and the match is going on. And I'm not so sure Hogan realizes this, but Sting does. It's time for the Scorpion Deathlock.
He's going to slap it on him again.
Randy Anderson checking. Call him to the bell. Sting retains the title.
There's your winner.
The first man out, James J. Dillon, the head of the executive committee, the man with a lot of pressure on him. He has the world title belt. And unfortunately, as he gets ready to hand the belt to Sting, justice has prevailed. Lee, here we go.
Well, a little too late. Hollywood Hulk Hogan calling for reinforcements at one time, but nobody came out. But now Eric Bischoff, and they're having a little tug of war in the middle.
Yeah, this is Eric Bischoff, I guess, at his best. And this is WCW at their best. Oh! Once again, footage that did not make the air on December 29th in Baltimore after Nitro went off the air. Now we are going to see one of the biggest brawls ever between WCW and the NWO. Near pandemonium. Things really got out of hand here. Bret Hart coming out. This prompted and has prompted WCW officials to make their statements about fines, suspensions.
Well, you know, Tony, all by himself. Sting was in there all by himself with nobody to help him. Now Diamond Dallas is there. Ray Traylor's there.
Hacksaw's in there now.
And I mean, this is a battle that professional wrestling fans that night in Baltimore, and now you fans watching will never forget. This was WCW.
What do you think, Tony?
I like this brawl.
Yeah.
I like the looks of it.
Yeah.
And I like with the trash in the ring and pandemonium and police around the ring and all that. I like this brawl. But the whole fucking story sucked.
Yeah.
And it all came, It all was based on that 1-3 count. That was not fast. Who are we?
You're mad about that 3 count.
I am. I'm mad about it. And that's why it was part of the comic book that I did. And that's all I'm going to say about the comic book.
I don't know why, but when you announce, and that's all I'm going to say, it gets all over me. Here's JJ Dillon to put a button on all this.
Mike, we promised everyone that tuned in to watch Thunder on TBS that they would have a chance to see the footage, which you have, and I'm sure each of you has formulated your own personal opinion, but the burden of making a binding decision has fallen upon the executive committee, and that decision has been made. And at this time, before announcing the decision, I would like to call Hollywood Hulk Hogan to the ring.
Eric Bischoff kicking JJ in the gut and then in the head, and for JJ to call them out is a very brazen thing to do, a very bold thing to do, I might say.
So listen, I like the idea that we're building to this, but
yeah,
and it does feel like we've shown maybe too many clips in this.
Of course we have. The story here, and the story would have been good had there been a 3 count. That's simple.
Right.
That had there been a fast 3 count. That's simple. I don't know. I've asked you this before.
Uh-oh.
But answer this again for me.
Okay.
Answer this question again for me.
Got it.
Is Eric defending the slow 3 count still? Did he ever defend it?
No, he thought that Nick Patrick just didn't do what he was supposed to do.
Which is true.
Well, here's the thing. Nick Patrick was on adfreeshows.com, and we talked about it. And he said earlier in the day,
right,
you told me to do a regular count. You didn't say anything about a fast count.
I thought Hogan told him that.
And then Hogan said, make sure it's fast count or a slow count, nice and slow.
Right.
And then Sting came to him and said, hey, I want to make sure we talk about this count. It's a fast count. So I guess what it sounds like is there were different conversations that were happening.
Yeah. And
nobody got everybody in the same room.
Right.
And took ownership. And Eric is at fault for that. And he freely admits, boy, wish I had that one to do over again.
Well, I'm not blaming Nick Patrick or anything because he was one of the great referees of all time.
No doubt.
But if I'm Nick Patrick and I hear something from Sting and I hear something from Hogan.
I do what Hogan says.
No, I do not. I say, we've got to talk, guys.
Oh, no, yeah. I go to Bischoff.
Right. I say we have to have Sting and Hogan and you in the same room with me, okay? And we need to talk about this because I've heard so many different things.
Right.
That's what I would have done. Or and guess what? I ain't going out there as referee until we get this right.
Yeah.
So.
If you don't like it, fuck off.
That's right. And that's all I got to say about that.
Thank you. I was waiting on it. The new shirt. And that's all I got to say about that. Available now at lowestreels.com. Let's track this. This is going to be good.
It's a horrible moment. Look at the face of James J. Dillon and the face of Sting. And actually, the NWO is not even happy either.
This is really a victory for the NWO.
It is. You've got to think that James J. Dillon would rather throw himself in front of a bus than do this. Did you see what Sting did?
You got no guts.
He's talking.
You're a dead man.
Sting has spoken. Fans will be back.
Listen, that was a big deal.
Sting has spoken.
Fans will be right back. By the way, now it's time for our main event.
Boy.
And this is what turned a 4.3 into a 3.4.
Okay.
Fans were invested, but we have, and listen, I think this is a fair criticism.
Okay.
We haven't done any sort of a job at all promoting DDP versus Kevin Nash as a main event.
None.
The entire show has been built around Sting and Hogan. And this almost feels like a dark match now. It's like, oh yeah, and we also got this.
Right.
I mean, we should have seen, instead of all these fucking clips the whole show, we should have had DDP do a promo during the show.
Right.
We should have had Kevin Nash do a promo. We should have had packages building to that. So I guess what I'm saying is it's easy for guys to pile on right here and say, oh, DDP and Kevin Nash shit the bed on the ratings. Well, they didn't have any support. WCW has not made it feel like a main event of consequence, of substance, of any relevance or importance. It's just sort of here.
Yeah.
And it could have been different.
Well, and again, pat our own selves on the back here. We certainly do make a big deal out of it on Dynamite, don't we? I mean,
yes,
we certainly do promote matches. Boy, do we ever. Promote.
By the way, speaking of promoting, I feel like we should promote that we got some brand new merch that we want to show off here today, Tony. It's available over at LoisRules.com. We've talked about some of these shirts recently. You like light? You like food? Look at you there. The hip hop version of Tony Schiavone. The old big motherfucker shirt. Not available in small or medium size motherfuckers. You simple bitch, which was something I know you really liked. You see the You Ally tumbler. I said to myself, self, but maybe our favorite thing of all, the temporary tattoo from Bug on the far left-hand side.
Right.
All available now at LoisRules.com.
That's great stuff.
And don't forget, when you buy a shirt from Tony Schiavone, you get a shirt.
Okay, I'm gonna.
And that's all I got to say about.
Okay, that's all I got to say about that. We attempted to make phone calls with the shirt, and we did pretty good, or I did pretty good for, like.
No, we did a phenomenal job, and then you blew up in popularity, and we couldn't keep up anymore.
No, couldn't keep up.
That's what happened.
Yeah. And of course, I was working nights at that time too, at a radio station, and nights are when you make your calls because people are not at work. So anyway, we did make a few phone calls, but I appreciate you getting all the shirts. And I'm going to hit you with something here now. Okay. As we're watching DDP and
Kevin Nash look it up for the U.S. title.
Do you have anything? Can you give me an update about Top Guy Weekend at Low-Key Big Hog get together?
I can off air. We're going to announce it next week here on the program.
Next week?
Yep. Right. We got our hotel commitment. It finally came in.
Okay.
So that's what we're waiting on.
Okay, good.
So we'll have all the details for Top Guys over on Ad Free Shows, and of course Low-Key Big Hogs over at the WHW Patreon. Which, by the way, Tony, I want to remind everybody that when Rampage is not live, because when it's live, well, you're busy. But when it's a recorded Rampage, you do something kind of fun for our Patreon members.
Yes. Do a watch along.
How cool is that?
Yeah. And it's a watch along not based on what is airing on TV at that time. It is a watch along of the copy that I get. And I get a copy before it airs, fully edited. And we watch along, and you don't have commercial breaks. You don't have picture in picture. You just have us kind of talking. And we'll pause between matches sometimes, and everybody will comment on what they've seen. And then we'll roll it again and keep watching. So, yeah, it's on patreon.com/WHW Monday.
How about that?
Yeah. We were in, obviously, this past week, we were in Portland. Well, we got great reception in the Pacific Northwest. Gosh,
man, I got to go there more often. I think you've done at this point, or I think last year, y'all did 117 shows in the state of Texas.
Right.
78 shows in the city of Chicago or the suburbs.
Right.
And then 137 shows in the Northeast. So it is cool. So you guys venture out to the Pacific Northwest. I hope you get to go a lot more often.
Yeah. There was in Seattle, I have a son of mine that lives in Seattle who has decided to not be a part of the family anymore.
Oh,
which is fine.
Wow.
But it was odd that I look up in the stands, and there was a sign. I took a picture of it. I don't have it. I have it on my phone. I don't have it to show, but there was a picture that with a guy with a sign that I took, and it said, "Tony Schiavone is my father." And I took that picture and I sent it to everybody in our family. I said, "Isn't this interesting? Because that's not my son, but he had that sign." So I just thought it was cool.
You sure it's not your son?
Yeah, positive.
I wish that was different.
Yeah, so that's life. It goes on. 1, 2, and DDP kicks out. Now, in real life, DDP and Kevin Nash were very good friends.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, just, remember Vinny Vegas and DDP and all that?
Yep.
Vinny Vegas. I liked that character. I don't care what anybody says. It wasn't as cool as Diesel or Kevin Nash or the Outsiders, but I loved Vinny Vegas.
He was fun.
Yeah, the reference to the gambling and just the way he looked. And
he was doing My Blue Heaven, was he not? Was he not doing Steve Martin?
Yes. Yes, he was. Yeah. Which still today is one of the great comedy movies of all time.
I enjoyed it. I may watch it when I finish with you.
Yeah, I own it. It's one of my favorites.
What do you mean you own it?
On Apple TV. I didn't rent it. I got it in my library. What are you fishing for here, dipshit?
It just tickles me that I own that movie.
I own that movie. I was a lot of movies.
Other people stream it, not me.
Yeah.
Fucking own it.
You know what? A movie I just purchased and I watched it on the flight back from Portland.
Was it a VHS?
No, it was not.
Okay.
It was on my iPad. I bought Trading Places, another great comedy movie.
No, wait, you didn't stream it like the Poors.
No,
you own it.
I own it. It's in my library.
Yeah.
So I can download it.
You can just watch it like everybody else, Tony, on a streaming service. You don't have to pay to own it.
Nope.
This is that rich person shit. If I could get you to stop buying movies you can watch for free, you too could have bidet money.
You too could squirt water up your ass.
And prevent colon cancer.
Well, not according to Adam DeMoy. Gotta have
Buddy,
toilet paper.
I'll tell you this. Now that I read all the things that cause colon cancer, I'm eat up with it and I don't even know it. Quit drinking. Maintain a healthy weight. Exercise.
Oh, shit. Conrad, you could walk outside your house and an airplane fall on your head today. You don't know how you're going to go. No one does.
Kevin Nash gets a lot of shit for his in-ring work.
Really?
I don't. Yeah, I mean, people say that it was actually Jim Cornette that he knew 5 or 6 moves or whatever.
Yeah,
and I think Kevin was asking too when he heard that. Does he count the hair flip as one of them?
Oh boy.
I know we're not supposed to be talking about this, but I kind of can't believe you brought it up. But you referenced maybe there's some uncomfortableness within the family with the son right now, and we just see Kevin Nash in the ring during it. I'm thinking, man, I hope y'all fix that.
Yeah, it's not going to be fixed.
Yes, it is. Let's be positive.
It's not going to be fixed.
It will be.
It will not be.
I hope it is. Am I allowed to hope? Is hope illegal?
Yeah.
Let's keep hope alive.
Tell you who else wants to fix it too. Is my good friend Britt Baker.
Yeah.
When we were in Seattle, we went to the original Starbucks.
Yeah.
And she said, give me his number. I'll call him.
Hmm.
I said, no, Brent, I'm not good. We need to fix this.
Yes, we do.
No, she really is a good friend.
Yes.
And I said, no, we're not going to do it. Anyway, we got 2 big guys in the ring right now.
Didn't happen at Starrcade. Kevin Nash wasn't there. We're teasing it's going to happen now. Nice way to go off the air with 2 big behemoths going at it.
What do they?
We gotta go.
We're desperate. Did they throw this match out?
Yeah, because Hogan interfered.
Okay.
So it was a little interference action. Okay. Next week, boys and girls, we're gonna go back in time. to see that the Western States title is on the line between Barry Windham and Tully Blanchard. It's the go-home show for the Bunkhouse Stampede.
Oh, wow.
The Rock and Roll Express, Michael Hayes' last appearance here, Sting, the Sheep Herders, Arn Anderson, and more. I also want to mention that we just dropped a new piece of content. And Tony, I don't know that you've even seen it yet, but when we hang up, I'll make sure that you get a link to see it. Have you seen the book with David Crockett?
No.
What we were able to do is go get his brother Jimmy's handwritten logbooks from 1985. And we're going to go through it month by month, one episode per month for the entire year of 1985. And it's got the dates, the towns, the matches, the gates, all the details of the business of the wrestling business for Jim Crockett Promotions. David Crockett is now officially a part of adfreeshows.com. The book, man, reliving these great moments in his brother's handwriting from the brain of Dusty Rhodes. It's just amazing. I think you're going to like it. David Crockett said it was world-class production. He didn't know what to expect, but he was blown away. And that's kind of the feedback we're getting from everybody at Ad Free Shows these days. We've talked a lot today about Eric Bischoff and Nick Patrick sitting down to talk about the Fast Count. Well, that just happened as a live event last month. And later this month, to celebrate the 35th anniversary of the very first Royal Rumble, we're going to watch it live with the winner of that very Royal Rumble. It goes down on January 24th. Hacksaw Jim Duggan doing a run-in for adfreeshows.com. You can actually watch the first Royal Rumble with the winner of the Royal Rumble at adfreeshows.com. Where else can you do that? This is a lot of fun stuff we're putting together these days, Tony.
Yeah, we have a lot of great stuff here on Ad Free Shows. I'm really glad to be a part of it.
We are too, and hope you guys will be a part of what we're doing. If you haven't already, do us a favor. It would mean a lot to Tony and I if you'd go hit the subscribe button on our YouTube. It's WHW on YouTube.com. He's on Twitter and Instagram at Tony Schiavone 24. I am at Hey, it's Conrad. Our show handles are easy. It's WHW Podcast on Instagram, but on Twitter and Facebook, it's WHW Monday. And we hope you'll check out some of our new swag, some of our new merch, lowestrules.com. Lots of fun, silly stuff happening over there. Something for everybody. But Tony, right now, it looks like it's about that time.
Just like the three. I had to stop because Bug was licking my nose.
I heard it. It was fantastic.
Just like the 3 count, ladies and gentlemen, and Bug is bored. And WCW, which obviously sucked during that era, we're desperately out of time. We'll see you next week on What Happened When. We come to you Wednesdays on Cumulus, but Mondays we come to you on
Patreon, patreon.com/WHW Monday. And of course, adfreeshows.com.